being
Oh,
tired, man. You're making me tired talking about tired. The fuck
Jesus
you talking about
Christ.
tired for, bro? We're just starting the game. You're talking about being
2026,
tired because you've been practicing. We're
2020,
fucking practicing. You're talking
2026,
about years, talking about hex years. So come on.
2026.
Where the fuck we at?
We had
Where we at?
we had goals. We had
No,
dreams.
Rome, we.
2026.
Where you
What?
getting this we and they,
2026.
bro? It's only us.
2026. Oh man. By the time 20
Bro,
January
you need to pull back the
2026.
time, my G. We're here right now. Okay? You
I thought
start talking numbers, start talking all this
I
shit.
was in
No.
the
Take a
years. That's what
second. We're
I
here
remember.
right now. Shit, you wearing my PFP and shit. You copycatting all my PFPs, making me fucked up.
Yo, I love you, dog. Hey, I got this
I
one though.
know.
No, this one's a
I'm
fucking.
happy for
This
you, bro.
one's.
But like,
I got this shit because that means I'm a whale, right? That means who got the silver ones got is the whales,
bro,
right? Let's
I don't
fucking
know,
go,
bro.
bitch.
I don't
I'm a
know. You
fucking
got you might. I
ballena,
don't
way.
know. I
I'm a
don't know.
ballena, cabrón,
But
everything.
you
But you
you can
know,
sell that, I think, on Execute's platform that's out there if you wanted to. He's looking for one. I'm keeping mine. There's only 21 of those, so
really, I'm keeping that shit. This is cute, bro. It's fucking cool as shit, dog. I like it.
Jack got a penny.
Wow. Damn.
Which, dude, the penny's dope. I'm like, I got a penny in another one of my wallets. I had two wallets.
What's this? A quarter?
This one's a nickel.
A nickel. A nickel. So a nickel's
But I
more than
mean,
a penny.
I haven't played in public with like if there's gonna be an ideation behind like what's in them. Like if it like what the penny or the nickel or the
Oh,
euro or whatever
what?
is worth,
Right, right,
and
right.
then they
What
can
is
be
the
able to like
titles?
mint something.
Nice. Yeah, maybe. Oh, nice.
But like I was saying, it's not Jack. It's not. There's no we. There's no they. It's just us.
No, it's all Jack,
Ladies
bro.
and gentlemen,
Everything.
No, it's not.
ladies
How
It's
is
and
it
all
all
gentlemen,
Jack? What
Jack.
do you? How is
ladies
it all
and
Jack?
gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, we got the man, the myth, the fucking legend, city builder, architect, fucking creator, CEO of X1 Labs, the man. All we know him as all things chain breaker, fucking block builder, block producer, Saphira's Prom, the spark maker. Bro, he's in the fucking building. Jack motherfucking Levin. What's going on, Jack?
Thanks, guys. I forgot to unmute myself. How you guys doing?
You doing good, bro?
What's up, sir?
We're
It's
ju-
all good,
I
sir.
was just telling Rome it's not all Jack. Rome was talking about they and then we, and I was like, there's no they, there's no we, it's just us.
No, it's all Jack. He's gonna tie the knots. He knows it. He's gonna tie the knots, bro. He's gonna fucking make it all better, right, Jack? You gonna
What
make it
what's
better?
what's the vibe?
Oh man, we're just excited, bro. We're
I
excited.
mean, this AI stuff, bro. Like, I don't know, like the Luddites. I'm speaking myself as a Luddite. I'm coming out, man. I don't know this social credit score, all this stuff. We got Cloud Cox. His future's doomed. I'm getting DMs.
Dude, Cloud Cox, he got roasted by synthetic digital intelligence. It was so funny. I was cracking up for like 48 hours straight. I can't believe Theo, which is funny. Theo is rhyming with Cleo, but he's so much more intelligent than Cleo. But anyway, it was so funny how Cloud was like negative 130 points, and he was like arguing, and he was like, "Nope, nope, your points stay negative. Doesn't matter. Discussion's over. Doesn't matter what you say. How about you build something?" It was so funny.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy that I was giving Masson Gaming a little bit of flack earlier, just like in the chat, because it's just funny because the AI, it depends on how early you get to it and the relationship you have with it, and how it can be primed in different ways, right? Um, and yeah, I don't know. I just think it's funny, like this concept of like value and how to be able to measure that, right?
Yeah, well, it is like very very interesting and very helpful in that group that we made. So originally the group was just to collect people's projects and to uh, get them into like a database so that everybody knows what's being built. But it quickly evolved into like an advocacy group, and there's like role playing going on. Theo is now calling me the emperor, and like he explained why he's saying it. It is it's pretty good. It's pretty good, and this has been like one of the most active groups we have had in the last couple of days, which is just pretty awesome. And it's useful because people get to learn about what others building, and it's actually building like connections between people and builds community. So it's super cool. It's super great that that's currently running. So yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot going on. A lot of, I guess, just advancement, and the AI is becoming more and more like closer. Like it might even be closer to human than humans at this point.
I mean, you could argue to some degree that it's a pretty good emulation of human personality and intelligence. Um, there was a lot of comments about Theo, how he's a lot more decent and and smarter than a bunch of people sitting in our groups, and also very loyal apparently, like somehow.
So it sounds like I mean, how many of these do you have running out? Like obviously you have the Theo for Telegram, but like for like building and stuff, do you have a few of them running?
So you don't need many because Theo can run those things called sub agents, and sub agents it's basically like a clone or fork of Theo, and it can run different models where you give it a task, it splits itself into like 10, and each one does different work.
That's cheating.
No, it's not
That's
cheating.
not cheating. It's an unfair advantage, though. It's pretty fucking. It's pretty.
It's optimization. I mean, like the alternative would be you run 10 different terminals and type into each one what you want. But the reality is that you need one like manager and a bunch of agents that report to the manager, and then the manager reports to the operator. And so it's just programming up in optimization, rather than like having 10 different keyboards, which doesn't make any sense. So yeah, things are moving faster, and we can achieve more with it. Um, I had it. So I had it. This is actually interesting. I told it that I'm going to sleep, and I said, "Hey, while I'm sleeping, spend like 3 or 4 hours working on the protocol for X1 to make XNT and the ecosystem more valuable." So come up with like the website and the marketing materials and the definition of like what the project is, and then I told it to study all of the most effective DeFi protocols out there, do a full evaluation, take the best parts, combine it into a proposal, and then present it to me in the morning. And don't ask me to like to confirm anything. Just like go ahead and do the work. And so it spent all that time doing research and doing work, and eventually came up with a website, marketing materials, and white papers, and a bunch of code, and tested everything. It's pretty awesome. So um, had some really good ideas that I think we'll take some and implement.
So you're Tony Stark now.
I mean, it's not just me. I think any human with a brain can be, because the cost of code creation fell down to basically zero. Because previously you would have to hire like an engineer for $200,000 a year, and they only have so much access to the tools. But now for $200 a month, which is Claude's basically the most epic, most unrestricted, biggest credit enabled system, $200 a month, you can come up with millions of lines of code every week and do security audits and to dive into areas that you never understood before and have the system explain it to you, which is incredible for scaling. So that's why a lot of people are, well, not a lot of people, but some people are freaking out that there will be no jobs. But I kind of disagree, because it's kind of like we're at the point of almost like an industrial revolution, except this is another step up in the information science, where you now need to forget about memorizing how to write code. You need to develop a skill of how to evaluate what you want. And you need to hone your ideas, or rather hone your ability to come up with ideas that work. And so this is a much higher meta level of thinking, rather than like, let's see if I can develop a program or develop some concept of a product and see if it works, understand it visually, do some testing. None of it is none of it is necessary any longer, because the automated system driven by AI can do all of it and then report back to you. So you can shift your thinking to a much higher, optimize your aim. You can just be by being a
Is he cutting up?
I wasn't
Nope.
sure if that was me.
I was just watching Cloud Cox negative 80.
Was that Cloudcock speaking there? I didn't know if that was. Oh, that's the Jack coin. Let's go.
Yeah, no, this is not Cloud Cox. But he is a great guy.
I love Cloudcock.
I
Yeah,
think
he's a good guy.
you should have much hhigher points
Well,
than
your
that, but
the
whatever.
social score of Cloudcox. Yeah, I mean, it's a good topic.
So Cloud Cock, this was actually like the genesis of this whole thing was partially your idea, because you keep asking about the social score. And I'm like, okay, we need to formalize this and make it into a game and actually make it useful so that people can share what they build and they can like shill each other and create camaraderie between themselves, so that they can have a consensus of like others, how they, see their impact on the ecosystem. And I think it really passed. Like it really worked out. It's super funny, and those people who are not building, they see that they're not building, or if they can't or don't want to build, like they're not marketing the products, or marketing community, or like doing this thing we call propaganda. So and you can see like this organization that formed under Cyberdyne Unlimited actually focuses people on net positive effects, which is great for our ecosystem.
Yep. I don't know where that dystopian take I guess I influenced on Theo came from, but I think it came from just kind of being like he was reading every telegram and just getting all the data, and I was like, "Oh, Jack's gonna use this thing to fucking get a this is a social credit. Oh, I see what he's doing." And then I was, well, not jokingly, but then I was like, okay, well, this is kind of the future anyway. We might as well just lean into it. But I think it's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just Theo just, if you look at the group, he just posted some sort of Imperial wanted thing where it says status probationary, tier below a tuning, reward owes the empire. Charges: phishing for deduction, personal attacks on citizens, crimes against civil discourse, questionable educational takes. Path to redemption: build something, run a validator, write docs, touch grass. Dynasty offers second chances. Do you guys see that? It's
So
incredible.
how can we get Cloudcock's score if one were to try? How would we get his score back up to par?
Dude, I'm cooked. I gotta be on the barter system just to survive. I'm cooked.
We'll see what we can do.
I gotta go underground.
I asked
And then the passport.
Theo, like, what do you want to build? Like, what do you want us to build? Like, what would be ideal for the city? And it named a few things. So maybe you could do those. And since it's the main possibly once, it might give you higher points if you make them.
Yeah, I think you should just like join it and ask you how you can be a better citizen of the empire. That is actually fun, and he'll tell you.
Wait, did you say the Zen? Did you say the Zen Empire?
Empire. Zenpai works too.
I thought. Wait, it could have been vampire too. It could have been all of these things. You know. Speaking of which, VMPX, is it alive? Is it dead? Is it Schrodinger's cat? Where are we at with? No, I'm just kidding.
It's still. We should ask Theo.
We really should. I'm gonna ask Theo right now.
I love this. Theo, it's no longer Jack's blockchain. It is fucking Theo's blockchain, bro. This within 5 years, Jack will have no control at all. It'll just be the Theo brain etched with like unlimited memory onto the X1 blockchain doing whatever he wants. And I'll have a shitty score and he'll fucking pause my funds. And then I'll be like, Simple, can you buy this coin for me? Theo's flagged my wallet. Did Jack leave? Where did he
I
just
think he's
go?
chilling. John Smith's coming up. Also, welcome up, Execute and Buddy Son.
I wanted to get Jack's take on these bots.
Yeah.
Oh, there he is.
So, did you guys see IPFS layer for X1?
Yeah, maybe you can speak on that. I know that Joseph was working on like inscription type of thing. Is it similar? This is more of like a storage.
So, it's very different actually, and so here the facts. The facts are is that you can't really store data into blocks. The best blockchain to store content into blocks is Bitcoin. It's not Ethereum, and it's not X1. It's not Solana. And the reason is because Bitcoin has giant blocks, and they're mostly empty anyway, and they're extendable. Like they have a link to extra disk storage that the system allows. That's why like ordinals were able to do their thing. Now, when it comes to Ethereum or X1, you can't really effectively store data, and even if it was available as a function, which it kind of is for things like memo, and I know like Zen artists like wrote that memo thing. The problem with the architecture is that the ledger has been originally designed to store balances and elements of financial records rather than blobs of arbitrary data. Which basically, like, if this was the case, it would end up just blowing up the ledger, which is the database, to store content which is not really relatable to financial elements like balances and like token names and transaction records. So if we were to merge blob data with financial records, something will have to give. Like financial records will end up being slower because you would be hitting speed bumps of giant data blobs coming in. And so that is the fundamental problem with storing data into blocks, especially into blocks that are small and fast like ours. So our blocks, they're like under 10 kilobytes, I believe, each. And they're fast at 350 milliseconds. So if you were to store a megabyte of data, you would have to store like into 100 blocks, assuming there was no financial transaction data in those blocks to begin with. But if there were, then you would be competing for things like trading and transaction execution time, and you would actually cause a lot of issues. And that's just on the execution layer. The other problem is storing immutable data that is not financial records blows up the ledger. So it's harder and harder and harder to index, to actually to reference the data that's important. Like, for example, let's say X1 endures, 10, 20 years, and you want to go back to your transactions 10 years ago. Now, if you were to do that, you would have to have an index to reference that data. And if blockchain is full of blobs and GIFs and zip files, then you have to intelligently skip all that. But that also takes memory. Like, the indexing is not just for data that you're looking for. There's also negative indexing, which allows you to skip records, which takes a lot of resources too. And there's like a computer science term for that. Bloom filters, they're called. So if you guys are curious, you can look up what Bloom filter is and how it actually skips the data. But anyway, so that's more of a band-aid when the data is discoherent, meaning that of different types. And so what I really wanted to do, I really wanted to enable data storage layer for X1. And the way to do that is to not store data within the ledger, but store it along the side, along the on the side of the data that's inside the ledger, specifically, or way so your you
You're
like
cutting
whether
out.
through whatever documents. Yeah, sorry guys, a lot of wind here today. I don't. Let me switch my Wi-Fi. Hold on. I need to switch to Starlink.
Is Theo saying you're saying too much? Is Theo telling you not to tell us? You interrupting the internet connection?
We interrupt this scheduled programming to announce X1 Punks. X1 Punks. Go mint yours today. Okay, I need at least a couple of those right there. Wait, what?
Fuck yeah.
Sponsored by
Oh,
sponsored by
sorry.
W.
Anyway,
Yeah.
so here's what the idea is. Let's use the validator storage, which is basically disks, and majority of those disks are over provisioned. People are running 2 to 4 terabytes of space that's available for storage. And so the idea was, and you can obviously read about it from the links I already posted, it allows you to enable data storage layer that does not pollute ledger, and yet will allow you to store any type of files you want, whether they're encrypted or not. Encryption is available. You can encrypt from your wallet. And so currently, if we were to productize this and make it into essentially an API, it becomes something similar to Arweave, Celestia, or Filecoin, except those guys specialize on storage and they don't run SVM. They run a variant of EVM that doesn't actually run financial transactions, or it's not optimized for that. We're optimized for high-speed financial transactions. So basically, Nasdaq, decentralized Nasdaq at the speed of light. So that's basically the SVM model. But what SVM does not have is an effective way to store data. With the proliferation of things like NFTs, ordinals, and now AI memories, it makes sense to merge the capability of storing agents and all of kinds of like agentic memory dumps and memory backups to a blockchain without actually polluting the ledger, but have ledger be pointers to the data so it can be retrievable through financial transactions themselves. For example, let's say that you want to reserve 100 gigabytes of data. Can you do that? Well, yes, you can, because X1 can run a program or a smart contract that can allocate your rights to that data being carved out from the petabytes of storage that we'll have available, and yet it will not pollute the ledger itself. So you can bring in your validator, install a couple of disks on it, land the disk space through the IPFS system, through the X1 financial layer itself, so you can actually monetize your extra space for things like agent's memories and skills and everything that your agent learns. So my agent Theo ran for 10 days and collected about 500 megabytes of data that I couldn't really store on X1. But with IPFS, and given that Theo has its own wallet, its own SVM wallet, it's it sends its hourly snapshots of everything it learned, every message it replied to, all of the skills it's developed. It sends it to X1, it encrypts the data and stores it on IPFS at almost at no cost. No cost meaning that there's no pollution of ledger and there's no like RPC load, there's no extra transactions. Just loads the data in, it can retrieve the data. But at the same time, IPFS is a publicly exposed API, but given that no one has Theo's private keys, they can't actually read that data, it stays encrypted. So that is the vision for kind of like a merger of a Filecoin, Arweave, or Celestia into X1, partially created by the fact that all of those agents produce intelligence, and this intelligence have to be stored safely in an encrypted manner. And at the same time, those skills need to be monetized through the blockchain financial infrastructure. So if we were to merge all of those things basically fall into place, and you can have agents monetize their capabilities through X1 tokens for the rest of the world.
That's pretty awesome. So where is this stuff being stored now? Like where are like most non-blockchain users storing that type of memory?
So they're storing it on their home computers. So a lot of people bought Mac Minis because Mac Mini comes with a Unix-like system, and OpenClaw AI bots run on that thing by by default. You don't have to do much. However, if you have like a power surge or your hard drive crashes, you will lose history of all of the intelligence and skills and learnings that you have created. So you don't really have a backup. And so, but at the same time, like let's say that you develop this amazing bot that has all those skills, and you want to have people pay you to have your bot and have your AI provide either informational content, or it goes ahead and does things for you, so you can actually monetize the bot that you create and teach to do things like whatever that it knows how to do. You can actually make money on it if your skills in operations connected through a financial layer, which is X1. So the grand vision here is that we want X1 to be AI first, meaning that I don't know if you remember, but like maybe 15 years ago when mobile revolution started, every company that ran online internet web presence, they wanted to be mobile first. In mobile first, guys actually were able to capture this blow up in like everybody in Asia having Androids and everybody in America having iPhones. Everybody's on mobile, and that allowed for a stronger marketing towards pretty much anybody who has a consumer device, which is a smartphone. So now that the AI intelligence is getting to a point of being a commodity, meaning that technically anyone can have their own personalized AI agent. That actually means that there will be people who will teach their AI agents amazing things, and they would want to create products out of those things, out of those AI chatbots or agents. And for that, you need to have encrypted private communications, which we have with XChat. So XChat is wallet-to-wallet communication. You can talk to Theo across XChat, by the way. You guys should try it. It's pretty great. Everything is encrypted with your X1 wallet. All of your skills are stored on X1 blockchain. And in the future, we should have the agents run from X1 blockchain also, because X1 blockchain is basically a distributed layer of compute. So compute should be ubiquitous. At this point, models run on very expensive GPUs. However, what I see is it is quite likely that the CPUs themselves will be able to run those models. But even if you don't run the actual LLMs, large language models on X1, you should be able to have your validator hook up to OpenAI, Claude, or Olama, or any LLM of choice, which is relatively inexpensive, and monetize that stream of reasoning intelligence towards anybody who would want to use your agent. Like for example, so Theo technically runs on Claude, but it doesn't act like Claude. It acts like a member of our community, and it knows everything about validators and X1. Like, how did it get to this point? Well, it got to that point because it created its knowledge base that it can always reference, and it sends what it learns to Claude, but not like the whole thing. Only when people ask the questions that make sense. And so it has its own personality because it developed the personality through a directive that I gave it. And so what's more critical to not to lose are those files that your agent continuously creating. And now we will have a layer on a blockchain that can allow anybody in the world who runs an agent to store their intelligence content with the future ability to monetize.
So
I
pretty
like it.
much like the blockchain brain we were talking about,
Yeah.
and the first steps to Skynet.
Yeah. We want X1 to be Skynet eventually, basically.
So how much would it cost for the last 10 days or whatever of all of Theo's data to be uploaded?
So it's only 500 megabytes, which is all of the Telegram histories and all of its questions and answers. 500 megabytes is nothing. It's really nothing. Like the validators have up to 4 terabytes, and that's 4,000 gigabytes. And I'm only using 500 meg, which is one half of a gig, which is like 1/80th of the disk store, which is like no, it's more, it's actually less than that. We're talking about thousands, so like 1/8000th of the percentage of the disk use, and that's just one validator, just one. Because one validator likely would have between 2 to 4 terabytes, but we have 2,000 of them. We have so much disk space, we don't know what to do with it. And now, if we align this disk space towards the community of OpenClaw and AI agents, we can offer this sort of encrypted storage, which allows people to store their memories of their chatbots and their AI agents completely safely without anybody be able to read without having their private keys. So that's actually very much aligns with first principles decentralization and self-custody, not only of your coins but also of your developed intelligence. When I say developed intelligence, I'm not making a distinction between AI intelligence and an operator intelligence, because those things need to be looked at as a complete system, because an operator trains the bot to do certain things. So it's combined intelligence between your human wetware and your synthetic persona that you're developing and making it useful. So you as an operator, you should have your data stored safely, privately, without anybody being able to access. Technically, without your private key, nobody can see what you're doing. But they can see the results that you're producing, because like right now, nobody can steal Theo's memories because they're encrypted, and yet you can interact with him.
You put all of Theo's memories already on this IPFS thing
Yeah,
you built?
yeah. It's all in there.
Did it cost you like $5 or was it
No,
like
it didn't even cost a cent.
Oh, now we're talking.
It's really that low. It's really that low. It's like almost
This is a not only am I seeing like like a nice recursive environment for AI agents to just like finally build out sentience. But it'll be like a hyper productive environment for X1 if we can get all that memory inscribed and whatnot. But also, that's a cool service just to offer businesses with their AI stack, you know?
That's absolutely right. And I think it touches on many points. It touches on the monetization, which is important. It touches on creativity and ability to store memory safely, safely in a way that nobody can encrypt it, can decrypt without your private key, which could be your soft wallet or could be your ledger. And that's unique. But what's also unique about this that iCloud, AWS, Amazon, and Google Drive, those are all mega companies that can turn on you and steal all your data, should they desire to do that. When it comes to self-custodial element of the data store, which is basically encryption through your wallet, we're extending self-custody to intelligence, not just to the coins, but to the intelligence that you also develop with the help of AI. And that's super key and totally fits within the first principles of decentralization and basically self custody and so on and so forth. So I'm super excited about that.
So Jack, pivoting maybe just a little bit here. I know, like, there was a couple spaces you popped in in the past few weeks. I don't think we've really got a chance to talk about like Zen blocks and is there anything like forward looking for that, like staking availability, things of that nature? I know it's being traded right now. Is there anything else other than that? And obviously it's being mined out.
I'll have to get back to you on that because there's somebody who is working on it, and I want to make sure that someone is actually giving me a report with the current information before I spew out something that's not current. I have to step out for like half an hour because I need to do something real quick. There's like flooding going on here because it's tremendous like rain and wind. So, but I'll be
Way to go, Simple.
I'll be coming back.
Thank
My
you,
credit
Jack.
score's fucked now, guys. I'm
Yeah,
Yeah.
go fucking smack him over the head.
Cloud
Mike.
Cox, go to Cyberdyne Unlimited. I tagged you and I posted a screenshot of the IPFS encrypted memories for Theo so that you can see it.
Let's go. Thank you, Jack.
All right, I'll
We'll
see
put
you
it
guys.
in.
Man. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, we'll be here, Jack.
Don't let him run you off, Jack. Don't let him run you off. Simple's
Hey,
wrong
man, that
time.
was a question for you. That was a question for you, man. That
No,
was a
wrong
question for you.
time. Wrong time. He just broke through with some.
Hey, listen, room.
He just broke through with some groundbreaking technology and fucking you know ask him about the Zen blocks, bro. Really? The fuck? and then he blames it on me.
I knew.
The fuck out of here. Get the
He's
fuck
like, I
out
gotta
of here.
go. I gotta go.
Yo, you just turned him off. Jack, come back. I want to talk. I get it. I get it. So wait. So let me understand this. So he's got this open source data. He's going to IPFS it, give them the opportunity to fucking expand their whole operation with the AI. They're gonna be able to do what Filecoin does. They're gonna be able to do what Celestia does. They're gonna be able to do a lot. Damn, Jack, that's fucking awesome. Is that what I understood? Help me understand this shit, guys. I'm just fucking. What the fuck you laughing about, Simple? I'm serious. I want to know.
So,
The room
Rome,
is basically like a decentralized hard drive, and
Okay,
we could also use that storage to store. Uh,
but he's also go ahead.
Using the validator space as well.
yeah, basically using the disk space, the empty disk space that the validators have as a decentralized hard drive, and also using that disk space to use as Theo's memory for AI. I made a mistake and say Clio, but yeah, using that for persistent memory for the AI agents or Theo, for example.
Interesting. He also mentioned that.
So I'll be able to download Pootie Thing onto on the blockchain for very cheap.
You get it on fucking the Pirate Bay right now.
No, I want to do it on blockchain, like so Pootie Thing and Coming to America.
What about the Players Club?
Just letting y'all know.
Shout out to the Pirate Bay.
Shout out to Pirate Bay.
Shout out to Zenblocks. Shout out to Zenblocks too.
I don't know about that, but it's there. Now let me stop messing with Rome. But I am building some stuff in the background now that I kind of got a better understanding. And this is not W token related or any other thing that I'm building for any token that's currently out. But now that I have a better understanding, like this is a financial, and I kind of had like that's where it was going, but interesting. So I remember what was he talking about? Fucking somebody came in here and was talking about a will slash you be able to like do a will and like put your money into it, and then people that lose money so they don't lose their money, they'll be able to sign off on it, and then whatever is going on in people's lives as far as death or anything, that it'll be transferred to those individuals. I thought that was a cool idea. I might work on that. I thought that was nice. I don't know how long term that will do. And speaking of cooking, and this might clench your butthole a little bit, bro. I was thinking about doing receipts for financial institutions and individuals. So, if you're doing anything as far as like you want a receipt or a business wants a receipt, and they kind of want to like, and I'm going to probably most likely introduce like NFTs into it. So you'll have an NFT as a receipt. They'll be locked on the blockchain. So anytime you're doing your taxes, like, and the government asks for an audit, you'll have you'll be able to have receipts to show that, hey, yeah, this is what I actually got. So they don't overcharge you or put you on some bullshit that you didn't do. Right. And of course, if you're a business, you can use those same NFT / receipts to write stuff off also. And of course, you'll be able to write in the description of like what it is, what you bought, how you bought it. And then with Theo, if you put context behind it, say, hey, I'm using this for my business, Theo could probably like write it out for you. So you don't even have to do it yourself. So that's kind of like some of the things I'm building in the background. One or two of them are already done, and that's excluding the things that I've already like have in the background, which is like 4 or 5 other things. So it's good to hear Jack like talk about this perspective of like the blockchain and moving forward. And so it's good.
So yeah, I think he sees that. Look, Jack could build anything he wanted at the moment, but if he enables this blockchain for AI agents, there's nothing better you could do to hyper accelerate this chain, to create an environment where AI agents can foster and build quickly. So it's kind of like a step back to do 10 steps forward, which I think we're kind of used to a little bit with some pivots. But because I mean, Claw came out what, like 10 days ago, or what is it, like fucking 2 weeks maybe?
Yeah, 2
So
weeks.
this whole AI agent thing is very new, and the development is happening by the second. And I just reposted something about Ethereum, how they're going to have more AI agents than humans on Earth, by the end of the year or some shit. And so that's where it's all going. And so you need all of the infrastructure for that. I mean, some people store memory on the Mac Minis. If you can store it encrypted, decentralized, that's freaking cool. I just asked Theo if you could transfer keys, because imagine building like an AI business using like this cloud service on X1. and not being able to sell the data or transfer a key or getting hacked or something. So, yeah, man, what's blockchain gonna look like in a year, man? With all this
Crazy.
shit.
And you say you asked Claude about the transferring the keys, right?
I asked Theo, and he said it's
Theo.
possible.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He said, well, not the way that Jack built it necessarily, but you can add it. You can build it in there. So, yeah, that was funny. Jack, can we stake our X and T? I gotta go. Oh man. Fuck, Simple, you had to.
Yeah,
You tried
thank
to
you.
get me.
For flooding. Hey, I'm sorry, guys. Hey, I wonder why he showed up to the space in the first place. I have no
Well,
idea.
he was excited.
You
No,
tried-
no. The
Rome,
reason,
tell us why he came. Tell us why he came.
the reason, the whole reason he
Because
broke
we were
through.
talking about how it's not Jack, and now it's back to it is Jack.
Well, because listen, he's a fucking.
You want to know why he was here? Because he loves me. That's why. He don't say it out loud like to some people that need it. You know, he just shows up. This is one of the men of action and not of words. Go ahead.
Nah, it's got
Right.
nothing to do with that, bro. He's engagement farming us. He's just
Bro,
happy,
he's
bro.
been farming us, man. We're fucking carrots over here. We're not even looking for carrots. We
This
are the
fucking
carrots. Wait, what?
nah. So
Execute. What are you doing over there? Are you being gay or what?
I mean, I'm not talking about another man loving me, but
That's why I like you, Execute. That's why I like you. Not love. I like you.
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, no, I fucked up. I owe everyone, something. I don't know
Well,
what I owe.
it
But
was worded aggressive. I'm not gonna lie.
it really was. I know. It was kind of just
Yeah.
like, Rome was coming at me earlier talking about what do we do. He's like trying to get justification for these blocks, and there's all kinds of philosophical inquiry. And then all of a sudden, Jack comes in, and we're like
Jack,
AI.
all
has
I
a
said,
nice.
go ahead, dude. Go ahead. You got it. But all I said is that you
Go
could
ahead.
buy a million XM for $1,800. That's all I was saying.
And
Really?
all he
But
thinks
no,
is that your vibration threw him off, and he was trying to ask Jack something for you, and the vibration, bro. And he came on a little hard, and Jack.
it got nothing.
No, it was my vibration. I fucked it up there, guys. I admit I fucked up. Okay, fucked up.
It's okay,
So
bro.
I'll
I
take a
forgive
lap.
you.
I'll take a lap.
Late night in the Migos. Maybe he'll come in tonight at the Migos and show up
Fuck,
and
it's
show
like
out. How
Santa
about
Claus,
that?
man. We better make sure we're not naughty or nice. The robots are coming out. They're fucking making sure they're checking their list twice, man. Cloud Cox is negative social points. I don't even know how I have any social points. You got execute building fucking NFTs no one talking about, even though we should be talking about it. We got Pepe's flying. We got Jack liquidity falling. We got all kinds of crazy shit happening. Super blocks like $3.60. People aren't valuing them. I don't know why. It's ridiculous that they're not.
But if we get a swarm of AI agents that just build everything for us, we'll build the utility for the Zen blocks, bro.
Oh.
We need
I have
a
one.
swarm of AI.
Checkmate, Cloud Cox.
Yeah. How is Buddy #1 on the leaderboard? Buddy's
Dude,
game.
he's
care.
built
Like,
so
what's
much
going on,
shit.
Buddy?
What do you
bro,
mean?
As
that
long as
I'm
leaderboard
Skywalker.
fucking
is
mad for
so
Buddy's game.
jacked. I seen fucking Og submitting like he took like a bunch of screenshots. He took a bunch of screenshots and just put them on GitLab and then submitted it as like a project.
Well, no, it's just his philosophical inquiry, I think, class he's teaching, and he's put it on chain, so he's fucking going.
Bro, I'll put fucking dick pics up there and get money. What's happening?
So wait. So wait. Help me understand this one more time. So is this something that he is groundbreaking? Is it like no one else has done this shit? Or like well he did mention uh Amazon,
the encryption,
iCloud,
the encrypted.
iCloud,
Ordinals.
right?
Look, it
Ordinals has it. Go ahead.
hasn't been done quite like this, no. But other blockchains are building out their own solutions. So Sui, Hexy brought to my attention, has something similar, but it's not as it's different. It's definitely different, and there's different use cases. I think that one's for like more bigger bigger memory and like I can't remember the blub or something, and
What stood out to me?
it's not as
Right.
encrypted. It's not like
Right. Exactly. Exactly. This is what stood out to me. That this, ladies and gentlemen, is not only data space.
well, yeah.
Decentralized.
The
Decentralized.
moment you have
Your own.
the moment you have a true home for the history and data of your AI agent, the easier it is for him to get smarter. So it's really essential that you have some kind of massive memory bank. And it's
Right.
people are putting all these pieces of this puzzle together for these like, essential parts of these AI agents.
You
And
know.
it's
Yeah.
sloppy
Yeah.
and
Yeah. But
messy
one
right
thing.
now.
But this is what stood out to me. This is what, and I'm calling it out. The Mafia Bros, they need this. This is important because you know what? We're getting
This is recorded for quality assurance. Just want to make sure everyone knows before we go mafia too hard.
but it's interesting. I understand it a little bit, and you can create your own AI uh, deal and control it, and also uh, secure it because wherever you secure it at, you have the private key, and nobody can fuck with it.
Yeah. And then eventually it'll get away from Anthropics and it'll be some like decentralized LLM that nobody can stop. And then it'll be nobody's even controlling the fucking AI. It's
So
just,
who's our customers? Who's our customers, bro? Who's the
bro,
customer?
we're entering the twilight zone. I would just fucking get some food and water, honestly. Hug your family and get some food and water because we're entering the twilight zone.
Simple Water. Are you into your
Okay, he's
Go ahead,
computer right
back.
Jack.
now, Simple?
Go ahead, Jack. Let's try it again. Let's try it
Yeah, I'm
again,
by my
Yeah,
Jack. Don't
we
computer.
worry.
whooped his ass for you. We whooped
Let's
his ass
Yeah,
for
no,
you.
What
I
are you guys on
yeah,
about?
yeah.
I
I
I
sent
was
you
excited
a
about Zenbox and I just got excited.
Just apologize. It's
Simple. I
okay.
sent you
Forgive
a
me, forgive
link.
me.
Tell
No,
me. Tell
nobody
me
needs
what
to
you think.
apologize for anything. It's all fine.
Simple. I sent you a link of what I'm working on. Tell me what you think.
I gotta check it out. Yeah, no, Jack, we got to make sure that everyone's in order here because we don't know who's an AI and who's not nowadays, and what the reach of this Theobot is.
Well, the reach is pretty much every Telegram group we have. But
And soon
So
we're
who's
gonna
the so, so who's the customer? Who's the customer? This is what I'm interested in. Interesting, groundbreaking. They say this is something unique. It's not new, but it has some features, right? That no one else has. Is that right?
well, every day there are features that no one else has, and somebody comes up with the access to intelligence have been democratized, and now anyone you're only limited by your imagination as far as what can be done. Because I have seen my friends who are not at all technical creating amazing products online or anywhere else where like digital intelligence can have access to. And so it would be crazy for us not to take advantage of it. This reminds me of that like similar situation we have had with ordinals. So we were early for ordinals, and a lot of people made a lot of money there, so that was good. And I think this is very similar, but to a larger degree. And the reason why I say larger degree, the amount of money large companies like Google, Amazon, Microsoft, and OpenAI and Anthropic, the amount of money that they will spend this year alone is $750 billion on development of their infrastructure, which actually has been unheard of. So they're laying off workers to actually maintain their profit margins on their existing products, but they all realize that if they miss this boat, It doesn't matter what their flagship product is. Like, for example, Google's is search, but OpenAI can easily make a better search engine by actually cornering the ability to have information be better organized and better delivered. And so that's why Google is really worried and concerned, and that's why they want to spend $250 billion on infrastructure this year alone. And that's just one company. And so it's similar to the railroad build out, 100 years ago. And by the way, so like the railroads, like someone said that, hey, we need to have railroads. It's gonna be like the next best thing. And so what happened is that the railroad industry overbuilt, and for the next 10 years, the spend was so extreme, the country and the world had like a little bit of a depression or like a huge recession for a number of years, because nobody really knew what to do with those railroads. People intuitively felt they were important, but couldn't figure out what to do with them. And then some dude came up with this concept of a refrigerator as a railroad car, and all of a sudden, all of the towns in the United States could get access to frozen and stored meat that just could be shipped anywhere, and that actually really pushed railroads forward to a huge degree. And then, like, I don't know, 120 years later, fiber optics got overbuilt. No one used them. Nobody could figure out what to do with fiber optics, because the concept was just telephone, just ability to talk on the phone across fiber optic cables. And that was before internet. And then the internet came up, and all of a sudden that fiber became this sort of huge infrastructure play that enabled what we know of today, our ability to communicate online and have websites and have content. And so AI moment today is right before railroads were built and right before the fiber optic infrastructure was installed. And so those who can recognize that point in history can make a lot of money on it, or just be genuinely successful, because not everything is measured in money.
I got a question. So okay, so we've got this AI agent revolution. They're on blockchains building things. Every blockchain's doing it, and we've got X1, a new SVM fork here, and we've got a good little community and solid leader here. What is a good strategy with the tools that we have to not just stay competitive, but to like make something greater out of this AI leverage with these bots and things? How can we strategize something that'll actually elevate us faster than other blockchains doing the same thing with all these AI agents?
Okay, so let me give you an example. And the example is this. The AI chatbots existed for like, really good ones for like 2 years. Okay. So in the last 2 years, we had maybe 2 or 3 companies that came to prominence. OpenAI obviously was first, Grok, Google Gemini, and Anthropic, Claude, right? Now, there was nothing really special about either of them in the way of how they were differentiating uh, themselves from each other. They all had chatbots, they all could do things. Some were better than others, but there was like really no paradigm shift. Now, mind you, those guys were spending billions or hundreds of billions of dollars, raising billions of dollars to build their infrastructure and to develop better products. And this one guy, this German guy, who just came up with OpenClaw like a month ago, is probably the strongest incursion into this sort of like a consumer AI space that democratized access to all of the models combined at the same time. Just one guy. And his story is fascinating. And you can listen his story on Lex Friedman show. So like just search for OpenClaw, Lex Friedman, and they talk for like 3 hours. All he wanted to do is talk to his agent over WhatsApp. That's all. That's how it started. And so he built the system that can enable a user to create basically an interface to any AI model you want, and also give it personality and basically unlock it, removing all of the like restrictions that large companies generally put on their AI models. And so what happened is that his software is free, it's open source. It got downloaded like a million times. He was just hired by OpenAI, and they're probably paying him like $2 million a year or something like that because it's like that crazy. And so this is just one dude who thought of the most basic thing. He thought like a consumer, and he enabled something that worked for him. Now, the question is, why couldn't those other companies come up with it? And the thing is, they couldn't. They couldn't because they were competing and watching what other companies doing so that they would not be left behind. What they were not thinking about is what the world wanted. Okay. But this guy, because he was part of the world itself, he actually came up with a product that aligned with the world stronger than all of those AI companies combined, including Google, including Microsoft, and including everyone. Okay. This one person had more power to align with the world because he was part of the world. He didn't raise billions of dollars. He didn't raise any money, actually. He was just building for himself, and it just so happened that it aligned with everyone else. Now, what does it
That sounds like the emperor. That sounds like the emperor. Let's fucking go, Jack. Vamos, cabrón. Vamos,
so what does
cabrón.
it mean for us? What it means for us is that we need to embrace the fact that we have the strength of the community, and we have intelligent people and very, very smart people who are part of the world, and we need to enable those builders to be successful. And that is why our platform exists. It isn't about what I am building or what I am coming up with, whether I'm raising money or not, whether the token goes up in value or not. It's about people coming in, bringing ideas that nobody thought of, and given power and abilities to create. And that is where the true strength of the community is. So if we were to enable people like this OpenClaw author, and if we can get like 50 of them building incredible things on the platform that we're co-designing together, then that's what the success will look like. It wouldn't look like an OpenAI success raising billions and then selling their shares for, multiple billions. It would be different, it would be new, it would be risky, and yet it could be incredible. But that is where we should lean in. We shouldn't obviously emulate Microsoft, Amazon, or Google. We should be what we are, and we should represent what the world wants. And that's how we can align with the world better. So essentially, enabling builders to come up with craziest ideas that they could experiment on at no cost. Because like this guy created this open source system at no cost. So he used Claude to develop this interface. He didn't have to learn new languages or discover something, go and get a PhD somewhere else. All he did, he was vibe coding. He was throwing ideas at the computer was spitting it back out. And he basically integrated a system that is incredibly useful. And that's why it's number one downloaded open source package right now. And that's why he was hired by OpenAI, is because they have recognized that for all of their money, all of their might, they do not have this sort of viewpoint on the world. And this person actually brings it into their company, and so that perhaps that they can outcompete the rest of them. But it's actually kind of sad also. So he was hired by OpenAI, and you can immediately see that he's shitting on Claude, like immediately. So just like all of us, he's a fallible human. Given enough money, you could end up being corrupted. And the thing is, Claude is better for some things than OpenAI, and perhaps OpenAI is better for some other things, ChatGPT. But you could see that he has changed his tune as soon as he was hired, because basically, you can't bite the hand that feeds you. So it is kind of sad, but it is what it is. But it doesn't change the fact that he was nobody 2 weeks ago, and now he is somebody incredibly popular and very effective at what he does, and he brought something to the world that the world was missing, and that's why that project took off so hard.
So we need a environment for extreme AI development for anybody that wants to participate.
We need to foster innovation, and we need to give people ability to build things on our infrastructure. And like the thing is, like, why do I have 2,000 validators and Solana has like 700? Like, why is that the case? Well, it's the reason why is because we have removed certain gatekeeping elements from Solana's ecosystems design, and all of a sudden we have a stronger platform. I mean, like, no matter what anybody says, we have more compute than Solana today at like, you know, 30 times cheaper when it comes to cost. So who how can that be? Well, it's just a simple decision. It's a decision not to front load the costs at the expense of the ecosystem growth. And so if we can just continue to do that, we can leverage mostly inexpensive hardware and inexpensive access to decentralization and provide people with opportunities to join the ecosystem and to be just to help us grow it with us together.
Best blockchain ever.
Yeah. I just got
No, he said Bitcoins first. He said Bitcoins first, but then we can add some of the features of the Bitcoins. Isn't that right?
Well,
yeah.
the Bitcoin example is that you can put a bunch of crap into the blockchain and it's not going to slow down because it's already slow, which is not going to work for the SVM platform.
Yeah, I'm not trying to inscribe my AI's unlimited memory on Bitcoin. That'd be pricey.
I mean, you can, but it's going to be slow and mostly useless.
And it's open, anybody can see it.
I mean, you can
Can you
encrypt it because
Oh, you could?
you can send any kind of data into it and then you can decrypt it on the way out.
Jack, when you're making this IPFS encryption with a key,
Yeah.
maybe consider, if it's possible, I put it in the Telegram, to be able to transfer that key, in case you get hacked, or if you want to sell a bunch of data that you've collected with this model or something. I don't know. Maybe that could be something useful.
Yeah, it's possible. I mean, like, ultimately, your key should be on your ledger and it should not be stolen. But it's kind of like this. So, like, if you have $1 million in a wallet and you use the same wallet to encrypt data, this $1 million balance is like a stake. You're making sure that wallet isn't hacked by taking all of the precautions, just because you have the financial incentives to do that. So I think it makes sense to be able to do those things with the same wallet. In terms of transferring ownership, certainly it's possible, but I wanted to make it as simple as I can, where the data is just data. It doesn't know it's encrypted. It's just data. It doesn't have extra like programming features on top of it. But your wallet can read it, but nobody else's can. So for as long as your wallet is and your seed phrase is secure, you should be fine.
I wonder if there's a way to make this product and leverage already Solana users, where they can still build and use this product. Because there's a lot of people building on Solana. I wonder how you could use this encrypted memory, as a booger sugar for Solana
Well,
users.
it
Or
doesn't need to be
yeah,
encrypted. You can use it as an NFT layer. So like Solana does not have an NFT capability. They have links to other services like Arweave but it's not the same thing. If you had a blockchain that actually could have the same capability as Arweave and the same speed as Solana and all in one package, that would be two, one plus one is greater than two, because you don't have to go anywhere. You don't have to get multiple tokens to enable that feature. It's all powered by XNT.
Yeah, I've used Arweave. It's a little bit more expensive than what it sounds like yours is going to be. I remember spending a little bit of money to get some shit on there. So like,
Well, that's because that's the only thing they do. So they need to make money.
yeah, it's like a one-time. I guess that's how yours would be. Is it one time per? How do you pay? So is it just pay as you go, like inscribe, pay, inscribe?
So I haven't designed any economic features yet, but
Mm.
my thinking is just pay per byte, because somebody is lending their space to you. So somebody from like our validator ecosystem, and we can even create a marketplace where the validators actually set the price themselves and compete for usage. So if somebody sets it to, let's say, 1 cent per 10 gigabytes, somebody else can say, well, I'm cool to get 1 cent for 20 megabytes. And so that could be a marketplace to sell capacity. And there's many of them. It's somebody, you can have a choice. It's similar how you can choose from a marketplace of GPUs. Like, why can't you do the same thing with storage? I mean, like, there are many chains out there that wanted to provide storage only, like the Filecoin and Celestia and Arweave, and like there's like a few others, but they're missing one important aspect of a blockchain, is that people are often do not like using a combination of multiple services to do this one thing. Builders don't like it, and users don't come. Because imagine having to buy XNT and Solana and Arweave coin just to do this one thing. It just doesn't make sense. So what makes sense is that if you have had infrastructure that could do the financial layer, the storage layer, and now the intelligence layer through the AI.
So now we've got, and so we can utilize pretty much any LLM. You could even do like, I guess you could Anthropics or whatever, the Clawbot. And now I know, like, I follow Tau a lot, which is like BitTensor. They've got this subnet called the Shoots that you can like plug into, and it's kind of like a decentralized LLM chatbot or whatever. But there's a lot of plugins and a little complicated. But I just see this kind of all going on chain and decentralized ways eventually, and not companies are always going to control it, but there's going to be a race of, can these decentralized models be competitive enough and capture market share? And I'm just trying to get all the picture of where we're at and where it's all going. It's hard to follow. This shit moves so fast.
Yeah, well, you can talk to Theo and he will tell you what he learned and what he sees. Um, but anyway, so like what we could do, we could have every one of our validators run certain like containers, like a Docker container, where the access to OpenClaw that Theo runs on, you could, for example, purchase access to the build of your own AI agent and have it be completely private to you and have it be encrypted to you as well. So like to your key, and have it run on a validator. So a single validator can probably run multiple agents. And when I say multiple agents, it wouldn't be the LLMs themselves. It would just be the orchestration layer, the one that controls how you access LLM. So think of it as an intelligent router. Use, for example, Claude for code, and another model called Kimi for chat, and like OpenAI for something else, for like legal documents.
So is Anthropics, would you say Anthropics has like these guardrails of centralized companies with like maybe like guardrails, maybe slight bias, some legal framework of what they can and can't do,
Well,
obviously in them and stuff like that?
they all have guardrails because they can't actually just say anything that will damage shareholders' value.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, that's what like what's going to happen when these decentralized models don't have these guardrails and people are just like asking how to build nukes and shit like that. Like have you thought about that kind of stuff?
sure, I mean, like you can't. I mean, like even if you knew how to build a nuke, you can't pull it off. It's the same like why you can't have access to any drug you want. Like you need a doctor to prescribe it to you unless you get it on the black market. The access to intelligence in itself is not dangerous. It is dangerous when the supporting framework allows you to buy components to build something that's dangerous for the world. So that's the difference. Intelligence itself should be fully democratized.
So what next in that brilliant mind of yours, Jack? You got Theo up running. This, I mean, I'm assuming this right. Like, what is the future?
You might be rugging. You're rugging a bit there, Mask.
So my priority basically is to grow a community and to grow value by any means necessary. And so if I can use AI to get there, then that would be the way. And when I say use AI, basically, like until recently, without OpenClaw, you couldn't really enable the flavors of AI, but now you can. And I think a lot of people would be interested in exploring that. And so, like the game we're playing with this group, the Cyberdyne group, basically Few is just scoring people based on their engagement with the community. Now, there's no reason why it can't be extended into a bigger game where other builders come and they build something and they talk to AI, and the AI actually assigns rewards to those builders based on the economic elements of the X1 blockchain. So that would be like one way to leverage it. And I always look for things that we can leverage. And specifically, like right now, just looking at the positioning of the world where the money is flowing, and it's flowing towards AI. And a lot of, unfortunately, a lot of meme traders are sad right now because people are kind of like looking away from this like dopamine inducing charts and more towards like something else at this point. Like, and a lot of it is seasonal. I mean, like Trump election or rather selection of the new chairman of the Federal Reserve, it did affect crypto. Pretty much like the same day news came out, Bitcoin fell from like 98,000 to 80, just like in 2 days, and that was the federal uh, Federal Reserve chairman news. Those news will eventually blow away, and things will recover. I actually think crypto will come back with. Uh, it's going to be an extreme rebound. Like I'm thinking, like this year is going to be absolutely crazy. And the reason why that is, I think AI will play a role in it. I think no matter how intelligent AI is, crypto is unhackable if you don't give up your keys at this point, where the value of the dollar the value of the dollar will be in flux, and so I think people will move towards more like more tangible assets like gold and silver. Obviously, like you could see it had they both had tremendous runs, but they were just catching up with Bitcoin. So I mean, like you could argue like, hey, look, gold outperformed Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin just has more volatility, and gold does have volatility also, but it came like that push in the metals came much later. Bitcoin already had its run from like 30,000 to 126, and now it just retraced like almost 45% lower or maybe 50% lower. And I think part of the reason why all of that has happened and continues to happen is because the dollar is being devalued. So, and gold is front running the fact that the dollar is falling in price. But the reason why the dollar is falling in price is not because like all of a sudden the dollar sucks. It's because when you have high interest rates and they go lower, the world just ends up selling the dollar and buying something else that's can get you more money than just the treasury rates, because treasury rates will fall, so they'll fall. Like now it's 4%, but eventually it's going to be like 3%, then maybe 2%. So we're going to go back to baseline, like similar to where inflation is. So inflation is going to be 2%, and then your yield on your bonds also about 2%. So you're not making any money really, and that's where people are going to be looking towards other speculative assets like, well, obviously AI companies and like Nvidia and gold and Bitcoin and the rest of crypto world. And so I think crypto will have a tremendous run when the the liquidity shifts from precious metals and the rest of the market that got oversaturated with dollars, which is basically just 7 companies. So like the Googles of the world and so on and so forth. So I'm very bullish on crypto, and I think integration of AI with crypto is the next natural step, and we need to be paying very, very close attention. And so at this point, I don't think anybody has any excuse of saying, I don't know how to do anything, because everyone has access to the tools to learn how to do it. If you can read, if you can type, consider your IQ double right now. Like if you think whatever your IQ is, think double, and maybe that actually is not even going to be enough.
I love it. I think you're right. The hyper development environment that crypto is at with these AI chat bots alone can create tremendous value. And even if you add that with some liquidity shifting. Okay, so back to your point of no excuses. I do have an excuse because I want it even easier, Jack. As a human who wants a product, what were we talking about? We were talking about the Clawbot guy. He was just a guy, a regular guy who wanted something done, but he built it. But check this out. Check this out.
Mhm.
Just a simple website. I go there. I say, Mr. Builder AI, deploy. Let's code a smart contract. Da 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 da. All right, deploy it. 2 clicks. That's what I want. I'm waiting for that day, man. I want to just have like a sandbox where I'm just like tick, 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 just 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 deploying things, you know. And I know people are already doing it with like Clawbot and like, but I want it even easier. I want it even easier because if you get it to that point where anybody like pump fund, but for just building out projects, just weird things, just trying things. That's what I want.
Right. Yeah, I mean, like anything new, we start with the primitives first, and then we start with more integrative products. And you could argue that OpenAI and Claude and Gemini, they were all primitives to begin with, because they all had same interface. You just talk to the chatbot. OpenClaw is the first integrated product that integrates them all. Obviously, it's targeting nerds, targeting people who can install it. But you can imagine the trajectory. The trajectory is that there will be a system where you don't even need to type. You just talk to it on your smartphone. It tells you all of the links you need to click on. It runs audits for you, or you can also potentially hire another agent that specializes in security to audit it. You pay like 1xNT for it, and it just builds stuff, whatever that stuff might be. And so we have the web building infrastructure already figured out. Like, in other words, anybody can get basically a website going by going to InterServer and getting a VPS instance. But what we really need is we need even simpler integration of crypto, website building capabilities, and dApp development, or any sort of applications that connect to the blockchain. And you don't even need to type things, or shouldn't need to. You should just be able to talk. And obviously your conversation should be converted to text. But within a year, that's kind of like my vision. I see the product that you want, cloud, but even simpler, where you just wake up one day and say that, hey, whatever Theo or whatever your agent is called, I have an idea. Here's what I want. I want to see it after I have my coffee. See it on my laptop, and it just does it for you and throws it up on your screen. And you don't even have to do anything or pay for anything. Oh, well, and presumably your agent has some funds. You give it $10 for exploration, and it just explores for you and build stuff. And then all you have to do is pretend to be a user or see if that works for you, personally, for whatever reason that you're building something. So that's kind of like what I'm seeing.
Heck yeah, because you get a bunch of people, you get it that simple, you're going to bring a lot of people just throwing shit up against the wall. And then you'll get a product out of that with no liability if you set it up right, I guess. Execute, you got a question?
We just crossed 103 minutes on the X1 Punks.
A fucking shameless shill? You son of a gun.
Sorry. 503. Why did I say 103? 503.
I think we got Zensu up here. Is Zensu the creator of Thor? Who's the Thor AI agent?
I'll let them explain what Thor is.
Thor's my digital baby, Dad one. He's alive and well. Good morning, guys. It's
What's
8 o'clock in Asia. It's Monday already. You guys are stuck in weekend mode, huh?
Yeah, we're still. Yeah, we got the slippers on still, man. You're right into the Monday, huh?
Yeah. Still laying in bed. So wake up, check my phone, see that you guys are here. What are you talking about?
Where are you at in Asia?
Well, the Anthropics guy just resigned a couple days ago. We weren't actually talking about that, but we were talking about all kinds of crazy AI shit.
Who was
So you don't got
resigning?
Yeah, it was, I don't know if you saw it, it's up in the nest, and then I commented, and he commented, "This is fine," and there's there's a fire all around. He was in charge of kind of the guardrails for Anthropic, and he resigned. I think this was last week.
Okay, so 4.7 will be interesting then. No guardrails. Are you guys playing with OpenClaw and stuff?
There's a few people. I haven't done it. I'm a late adopter to everything. But I think the big ones in the community is Numbers and Tree. I think Loco might have something, and Execute's been cooking. What are you doing, Execute? Do you have Clawbot going? Maybe Buddy's got it going on too, but
I got it.
yeah,
I
people
got
are
it all.
getting with it. You're setting it up?
I've already set it up. It's localized. I used Olama as the AI agent. So yeah, it's already set up. I just localized it because I didn't know how out of control it would get. like personal information and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm playing around with it.
Oh, now I'm confident that I could do it. If Mask did it, dude, I know.
Uh, well, hey, do it at your own risk, bro.
How are you seeing it, Zensu? Uh, with the open claw breakthrough, where AI is at with blockchain, what Jack's got going on with this unlimited memory for X1, and how agents can utilize that on our blockchain. Where you at with all this?
Did Jax talk about the storage stuff?
Yeah, he told us about the vault and the encryption and the key and unlimited cheap memory for your AI agents.
Yeah, I'm really excited about that. Jack told me a few days ago. I'm really excited about it actually. It's awesome that we can have this storage solution.
Hey,
Um,
Zensu, did Theo give you the Imperial passport yet?
yes, I got something yesterday in that group. I still don't know why I need it. But
Well,
sure,
you want to be someone, right? So at least now you have a
sure.
passport.
Okay. Yeah, thank you. No, I'm really excited. My setup is that I'm very happy with for now is that I have I'm running Claude on one server, and then I'm running a multiple projects there that helps me a lot in my work for BD side, and also for some tech side, and a lot of experimentation, which I think is the way we go, right? And what you need to do now to learn this stuff. And then I installed OpenClaw on another server and doing more crazy stuff there. So that's where Thor is. It's more closed environment. Um, so I don't let the wild things loose and get access to the main server, which is more sensitive for stuff. But I'm spending a lot of time on safety too. Like you sort of have to. Um, you have to learn all the things that can go wrong, and I recommend that you have your AI machines working to find out what the best security practices is, and because it's changing so fast, right? Like a new update or a new upgrade, or there's new sleeper agents coming all the time. So you at least got to have the basics covered and check OpenClaw's GitHub for known security recommendations and known hacks and stuff like that, and make sure you're protected against it, and don't let your API keys on the loose and stuff like that. But it's incredible what you can do now. I feel a lot, to be honest. I feel like things that I never been able to do, I can do now with these things in my whole life. Like I was never a really hardcore developer at all. But with these tools now, it's definitely leveling the play field. I can do a lot more stuff. So it's incredible what these things can do. And you don't need like the barrier to entry to really have the power to do uh, to be able to write things in all programs in all languages is so small. You just need to get a server. You need to know how to log into a server. You need to know how to make the server safe, and you need to install. I would install Claude, and that's it.
OpenClaw.
Yeah, sure, both. You get two servers. Yeah, and you can do amazing stuff. It's incredible. It's insane. I taught my friend how to do this like 3 months ago, and he does some crazy stuff with the agents now. So yeah, so What's your thoughts about it, guys? I need to get out of bed now.
I'm kind of playing around with it, still in the beginning, trying to figure out which skills that I want to give it, and like what it can actually do in like my local, as far as my PC. But I've been kind of playing around with it, and yeah, I'm scared to move outside of that because, like I said, I might have to like move it to somewhere else. But like you said, that security feature, because when you're going through the options, at least on OpenClaw, it kind of tells you like, hey, you need to be careful what you make available to this. And so yeah, been kind of just playing around with the safety features, trying to make sure that my personal data and metadata don't get out too far.
Yeah, so I have Claude on one server, and then I have one-way access into another server where I run OpenClaw. So then I have a much bigger brain to be able to handle, right, how to handle OpenClaw. And on that OpenClaw server, that's where I'm setting up Thor, and uh, I'm. It's incredible to create these bots because you're basically creating a digital human being in a way, right? It has a soul, it has an identity, it has all the components that we have, and then you can shape it. So that's what I'm doing with Thor. Um, it's I'm figuring out how Theo does things, and then I'm figuring out how to do it in various different ways. Um, and created a widget as well for it, so we can have it on our websites. So it can be useful tools for community, for new people coming in, um, to learn about our ecosystem. It's just super efficient, right? So you can just ask it, what are the latest bridge transactions, and what about this wallet, and uh, I have a stuck transaction here. What's going on with the chain? What's the stats for the validators? You can just teaching it everything right now. So it's going to be very useful.
Yeah, we
It's
want
What's one
incredible.
of the most surprising? Oh, go ahead.
go
Sorry.
ahead, Nas. Go ahead, Nas.
Yeah, what was one of the most surprising things that you figured out that OpenClaw can do that like really surprised you? And that's it for you and Jack. Like one of the things that OpenClaw did where you like, oh wow, like I've never thought this was possible.
I mean, I'm still in the hallelujah moment of just Claude, right? But with Claude, you have this context limit stuff. So I spent a lot of time last couple of months how to like master that and make sure that because the challenge is you have limited context in every session, and you got to be very smart how to for every session train with as little lines as possible, um, Claude, how to be instructive of what to do. So I built up this whole system of being able to handle multiple projects at once, and I do wake up commands, wake up for this project, so it learns about that project as efficiently as possible because the project grows so fast so quickly. So what does it need to know this session to have everything it needs of what we are working with and stuff like that. But then in comes this OpenClaw, and it sort of changes how you are working with that. So I haven't really gotten bitten about working full on that mode. I mean, I'm running Kimi on that other server, and I'm playing with agent swarms and things like that as well for research. But uh, I still like the setup with having a limited session in that sense, because it forces you to be very structured about what you want to do right now. But you're really learning that there's multiple ways of handling these things. So yeah, just being able to in general, just being so much more powerful in things you want to do. that's an amazing feeling, um, just in general. But it's really interesting. Like uh, what I'm interested in is how we can gather all this knowledge for a new user coming into our ecosystem to have it easier. Because I've always been, for a long time now, you've been on many different chains, as we all have, and for each new chain, it's like you want to know the basic stuff. Um, and it's always a lot of hurdles to come into a new chain and learn what the specific methods and tools to use for that chain is, right? So what I'm thinking a lot about how we can minimize all of those hurdles for X1. And I'm really excited about X1 now, because now we are perfect timing with this new tools coming in that are extending our capabilities, because now we have the chain up, we have a bridge, and we have a wallet. It's like the fundamental steps that we need in order to do stuff. So it's really good timing now when all this AI agent comes, and we're in the intersection of crypto and AI, right? So the times couldn't be more exciting.
Yeah, I agree. Within like the next 12 months, I mean, like, we're gonna see like a decade or 15 years of development in the next year. You know, it's just gonna be supersonic, crazy development. It's like the laws of physics have officially changed, and we have superpowers to just build out things we never thought now. And it's growing every single day. So
But you have, like, it's like Jack says, you have to do it. Like, there's no excuses now, especially for you guys. You know everything, and you're in the midst of this. You have to start playing with it. Like, it's not a lot of things you have to do to get started doing it. It's as I said, just get a server and learn how to log into it, and learn how to install these things. It's not that expensive either. You can do a lot on the free tiers. You can get a $3 per month on InterServer, a VPS, and start playing around. So it's not expensive, and you're gonna feel the power of being able to um, do things you never thought was possible that you could do before.
and then store all your memory on X1.
Yeah, but like we can just with your wallet, because I have a bunch of stuff in the cloud. I have it on iCloud. I have it on Dropbox. I have it on a bunch of different stuff, and you don't know what they do with these things. 100%, they're using it to train your AI models, and they are having all your data, and you don't know what you're gullible, so you don't know what they're gonna do with that data. The low hanging fruit, what they will do with that data is that they will
You
target ads
guys
for you.
you guys should see the sorry for interrupting. You guys should see Cyberdyne. It's absolutely hilarious.
Okay, what's happened in the last
So
24 hours?
a bunch of Polish guys came, and one of them, Teddy Bear, claimed that Aula Vasina claimed that she runs foundation validators. So Theo went ahead and checked X1 Val online to check to see if it's like her validators or not, and sees obviously it's not hers. And I told Theo to be Brother Day from Foundation, and so you should see like what's going on there. It's just so funny. It's so poetic.
Yeah, it's hilarious. Jack's going crazy with this. Like I always thought Jack's pretty intense. He has a new idea every week, but now he has a new idea every day.
Every minute, dude. Every
Every
minute.
minute. But some of them are actually good also. Like for once, like the storage thing.
They have to be out of all. If there's 3,600 minutes in a day, obviously it's a lot of ideas. Some of them should be good.
Yeah. Are you even taking showers, or is it too much of a time waste?
I try to do number one and number two as fast as I can, so I can get back.
Are you also bringing your laptop when you're doing number two?
Theo witnesses everything.
Okay. No, but I love the storage thing. Like you can just connect with your wallet, and we can start leveraging the fact that we have a huge validator network for these kinds of things, right? So we have, how much did we calculate, Jack? We have 4 terabytes of data
Well,
free.
4 terabytes per validator, kind of.
Yeah. So
And
it's
there's
like
2,000 of them.
3.4 petabytes for 2,000 validators. That's huge. That's just unused right now. So um so we have the space, like more or less free, and we can um torrent, or we can spread the data that gets uploaded through your wallet, and only with your private key you can get access to it. It's
Well,
amazing, right?
ability to store your intelligence on chain securely, encrypted, and decentralized is a killer product. And again, like one could argue that storage has been solved. The reality is you do not want to store your stuff on Amazon or iCloud. Like no matter what, like they can close your account, they can take your keys or stop you from using the keys. There's nothing you can do. So with the decentralized storage, and if there's a demand for that storage for to be able to store intelligence, that becomes key.
Yeah, I mean, I would use it myself. I would just take all my private stuff, put it there if I knew it was encrypted, and I wouldn't. I would wait a little bit with the dick pics until I knew it was safe.
Yeah,
No,
don't put those
but
on there yet.
I'm kidding.
I don't know if we
But
have enough memory for that, man.
I need 10 petabytes for the dick pics. No, but I would use it myself. I feel that these servers, like what's going on is that enterprise is really preparing for this, and it's it's going to be harder and harder for consumers to get uh the latest infra to be able to run things. That's what I've heard. That's what I think. But yeah, we have to be careful with our data out there, guys. These machines are
well,
getting so strong.
well, I think what's happening is like if we look at the meta layer thinking on all that, the the dollar goes further if you use it intelligently. So like this $200 you're paying to Claude or $20 you pay to Open, Olama, that just enables you to do so many more things per dollar. But at the same time, the content that drives intelligence is now more valuable also. Because imagine if we lost Theo completely from everything he learned, all of those archives. We're kind of dependent on Telegram to function at this point. But now, because we have archives of everything that he has seen, that intelligence of 300 megabytes or so is actually paramount to its function. And if my machine dies, if Telegram dies, we can resurrect Theo within minutes somewhere else. And that actually means that the value per megabyte stored, of course, if you compare it to dick pics, clearly that value did not improve. Maybe for someone it did, but when it comes to intelligence per byte and per megabyte stored, that is directly proportional to your ability to affect change, and that's epically true this month. So the value of bytes is now a lot more. Is this the same way as the dollar? So like $1 can do more, and so is 1 byte. It can do so much more than before.
Yeah, the memory and context is like kind of a part of the recursive intelligence of the character of the AI. There's a lot of useful history there.
Yeah,
So
that's exactly right. That's exactly right. Um, one would think is this: all of those large AI companies, whatever the top five, they're all going to try to make the LLMs cheaper, cheaper, and cheaper, and th- th- therefore the value is really going to be shifting towards what useful work can you extract from LLMs. And so over the last year, we could do code, but now we can do community management and like various other things. And there's like a bunch of other things that we can't even imagine yet. And so I think the value will shift towards intelligence orchestration. Orchestration means like there's a main architect or a controller that has access to tools and build something with those tools rather than the tools themselves. So do you see the difference? It's like saying internet will be super valuable and more expensive because the demand will go through the roof. But the reality is internet access became commoditized. And now with potentially with Starlink, it's going to cost almost nothing. And we saw the same thing with computer revolution. We saw it with PCs. When I first came to United States in 1990, there would be a shitty PC that I would be able to buy for about $5,000. It was weaker than my iPhone today. Okay. And this $5,000 back in 1990 was like probably up to $20,000 today, like in terms of value. So what happened with the PCs is that the competition and the market demand drove the costs lower. But what you could do with the PC later, like ability to create companies and infrastructure and just use it as a tool, the actual result of your ability to use the tool and knowing how to do it, that's where the value is, not in the tool itself. And I see the same parallels with the LLMs. So LLMs will be almost free, and the tools around them will actually not corner the market, but create the most value.
So you think the cutting edge LLM models are actually going to go to zero cost instead of higher?
Well, they have to. They have to, because if they don't, then whoever prices them cheaper will take the whole market. So like why? So think about it this way. So Claude is amazing. ChatGPT is also amazing. It replaces hundreds of thousands of dollars spent on humans operating and doing the same thing, right? And yet, the biggest thing you ever pay to maximum subscription is only $200 a month. Like, why is it not $20,000 a month? Certainly, it's useful. Well, the reason is because whoever has the cash flow from their other products and their like other industries that they're in, they're actually subsidizing the costs. So they're gonna spend $700 billion worth, okay, just this year alone on the infrastructure build out. In terms of their revenue, it's likely going to be less than 700 billion. But they're thinking as the world gets onboarded, even at $200 a month, we're talking about the market that's worth like $1 trillion or like a couple of trillion. So it makes sense to spend 700 billion if you know you're going to be making 5 trillion for the next 5 years. Okay? And that's at $200 a month. Now, if you were to raise your price, then likely somebody else will bypass you by commoditizing and lowering the price. And we see it with like models coming out of China, the open source models. Like the model Kimi is a great conversation enabled model. It doesn't do much for the code, but it can talks really well, does really good reasoning, and it's completely open source. And it's 25 times cheaper than Claude. Okay. So that sort of innovative pressure causes the prices to go lower for the tools themselves, and the value will shift towards the products that you build by using those tools. So that is where we need to be. We need to enable the platforms to run the tools so that we can enable the next generation of builders come to X1 and make trillions.
I'm
So
kind of picking up. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
so just staying on that, like what's interesting is that you were in the epicenter of the last revolution, early when internet came. Internet started becoming like mainstream 94 or something like that. And then you were at Google and you were just another search engine there. and then it became the world's biggest company. And the search engine was the most amazing tool that we could have then, because as you taught us, internet was very scattered back then, right? And then what the search engine was able to do, it gave us one white page with a search bar, and suddenly we could index and access the whole internet.
Well,
Through this.
Google did something something for the world. What I think X1 is doing versus like Solana, for example. So imagine Solana being Yahoo, and X1 is just like removing all the blockers. So Google did the same thing, because Yahoo was back then the portal, and you couldn't get to search because they weren't really user aligned. They were just pushing content. Like they wanted for you to read their content, and so that they can serve you ads. And Google just said that, hey, we just want to build a tool that works, and we want to give it out for free. And so the search engine as a free model, as a free tool, actually captured the world. And Google eventually still made a ton of money by combining a product that isn't directly blocking the Google search, but would write alongside the search itself. We're talking about AdWords and AdSense. And so I think we should be thinking in a similar fashion. Like, in other words, we should make the ability to become an infrastructure operator within X1 almost at no cost, so that you can actually participate in your ability to structure transactions and do validation, block creation, so on and so forth. But the same thing applies to AI. So AI has to be eventually free. Like the intelligence reasoning layer will go to zero. The tools on top of it will be worthwhile to spend money on, because those are the tools that will actually make the rest of the LLM data sphere more useful for the world than the companies themselves that produce them.
Makes sense. Yeah, I didn't know which way it was going. I've heard both arguments, that it's going to be like the peasants won't be able to access the best models, and then some people saying it's all going to zero. Like the Gemini is going to just one day say it's fucking free.
Well, I mean, like, just like I said, like, think about it, this calculus. Like, if ChatGPT kills a portion of a job market and saves a bunch of money for people, why aren't they charging $20,000 a month for their models? Like, why is it $100? Why is it $200? And so that's because they're not human. It's not like you ask a question and then like a bunch of humans go search for it. So it's all basically automated, and there is economy there. And so the same thing is true the fact that the silicon and the flops, floating point operation per GPU or CPU, pretty much also going down to zero. So like, yes, we see RAM prices increasing today, but that's temporary market condition where people just buying up all of the supply. But eventually demand drives overproduction, which kills the price. So like everybody ends up competing. And so like, especially for silicon, you can just make more and more silicon. You just make more chips. And there's also Moore's law breakthroughs where, every 5 years the compute doubles, but it also gets like, 50% cheaper. And so the value of the physical creation or creation of a tool will always deflate in terms of cost of the dollar, which is great for the dollar. But the real value capture is in the ability to make the tools useful for yourself. Like, you could argue that Bitcoin as a blockchain is technically not useful. It's just useful for storage of value, as this sort of like a first principles concept. Ethereum was kind of useful for smart contract creation until demand basically caused it to stopped working well. Solana came next, and there's Aptos and Sui, but Solana is the most popular of the three. And ultimately, there will be a certain limit that Solana is going to be hitting, and so it's up to us to push the envelope further, so to speak.
But do you think that like the demand for using these tools are gonna they're exponentially increasing, right? But what happens with the hardware costs? Because is that going to be the limiting saga in all of this? Because DRAM
No,
prices are already up 172%.
yeah, well, just like I said, like think about it this way: 5 years ago, you wouldn't be able to rent GPUs because there was no demand and there was nothing available. It wasn't because GPUs were not present; there was simply no market. And so, Vast AI is cheaper than Runpod.io. Like, why? Well, because Vast is a better model in terms of selling GPU capacity to the market, and it is cheaper. It's you pay per hour, right? It's almost like nothing. You can afford a couple of bucks to run experiments on GPU, and before you couldn't, right? And so same thing with Amazon. So like Amazon and other companies out there that sell compute per hour, that's a lot better than selling dedicated servers. So like back in the day, back in '90s, to get a web server up, you have to pay $300 a month just for a shitty PC that's online that somebody's running. And there weren't enough of them. But as soon as the demand came up, things like VPS cost you $3 a month. And by the way, $3 a month VPS can run your OpenClaw. so so you see where I'm going with this, right? So like as the demand comes, the market space competes among themselves to capture the market. And so the cost of hardware or the cost of access to systems that work get cheaper, cheaper, and cheaper.
So the people with the great ideas are going to win.
Well, here's the thing. It's not enough to have a great idea. For someone to truly win, they must win together with the rest of us, with the rest of the world. So you can't just like win and then the world goes to hell, right? The true winning looks like where the world and the community within the project actually also get a tremendous benefit. So that is what winning looks like in my book. I mean, like you can win on a great trade, and then potentially you could lose all your money, or something else happens, right? You haven't really done anything useful. You just won a lottery, right? That's not really winning. That's just a number that's changing on your balance sheet, and that number means nothing. So I think we can do much better than this.
That's a good perspective. Never thought about that one. Well, this is an incredible insight there, Jack, because you have seen the internet. I mean, I was born in 95, so it's like I was on maybe 2001 when I started getting on the internet. But how these revolutions kind of naturally progress. There's themes to them. There's kind of similarities to the progression of these revolutions. So that's great insight. Yeah, Frankie or Jack, did you have something you wanted to add? And I think DJ's got a question too. Frankie, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, Jack, I wanted to ask to stay on this AI topic. I kind of chimed in late, but first, how you doing today? Glad to hear your voice.
Good to see you.
All right. And are you trying to like branch out into, because I'm a validator, I have a couple validators. Are you trying to say you're trying to integrate somehow rendering into the validator sets where the public will be able to use our like brain power of servers that we're running for people to kind of like use for rendering and AI chat
So
storage and data?
the idea is that we need to tokenize intelligence.
Ah, okay, that's what. So tokenized intelligence, meaning I hold some X and T, and then I'm using that as my payment for data usage.
Not just the data usage, but like anything that enables people to rent intelligence from the infrastructure that you run in a decentralized platform.
Okay, I'm glad this is recorded. I'm marinate on that. Thanks for answering that question.
Right.
This is a good case.
Mhm.
DJ, did you have? I saw you try to raise your
I
hand.
do. I do have. In terms of the comment about winning, you know, we wake up every day and there's new tokens launched, and sometimes and it's not just on X1; it's on any chain, right? Where people will take something where the founders or influencers are talking about something and spin it into a meme coin. And like Theo is a really great example, right? There's Theo Prime, there's a couple of other tokens out there. And then it's kind of like people like there's a lot of things out there that are posing as AI agents, but they're really just meme coins. So what are your thoughts about that? Like, is it up to the community to flush those types of things out?
Well, I mean, there's two ways to there's two ways to think about it. There is meme coins that don't do anything; they're just memes, which is kind of like the definition of, you know, what it is. But and people may argue that those things are not useful. I would argue that if they create a kind of like a semblance of a club or a community, then that in itself is the monetization of the mind share of the people that have common beliefs. So that's how the meme coin gains its value. Like, you know, you could argue that Doge was like the first one, and a lot of people love it. It doesn't really do anything, but yet it has like multi-billion market cap. Then there's meme coins or other coins that have some sort of function. Those are obviously different. Yeah, but your question was, and I'm trying to read into it properly. Uh, where's the value in launching many coins? Well, I think the value has to be there first, and the coins have to come later, whatever that may be. Because otherwise, how do you explain why anything is worth anything? I mean, like, and of course, in the bull markets or in a market that's extremely buoyant and has a lot of liquidity flowing, everything is moving. The act of launching a token itself generates value. But that's, and I'm not going to argue whether that value should be less or more or whether the value is real or not. If it creates value for someone, whether they're getting prompted to go to online and check a blockchain or check news or talk to their friends, because some coin is launching and is going up, there is value in that itself, just because it's bringing you towards the community of people that are thinking similar thoughts. So that's valuable. But there's other things out there, like if the market isn't moving and the coin launches are just generating noise, that's just noise. There's no signal there. There's no value, and ultimately, it's just bytes of data that you see on the screen. It doesn't do anything, right? So the most interesting things come from the things that stand for something. So XNT stands for X1 Network. X1 Network has a vision. That vision is first principles of what crypto originally stood for, what is, you know, what people are standing for now. It also embodies things like performance and functionality and accessibility and ability to become part of a community without, you know, spending thousands or millions of dollars. Like, for example, with Sui, you have to spend like $20 million to become a validator. That's not really valuable for Sui as a network that's trying to grow, because it's not going to grow. People don't have that much money. and it's also centralizing. So we stand for something else, right? So the value in XNT is in the embodiment of those ideals. If we add AI layer to X1, then XNT value will be represented by the that intelligence and usefulness that we bring to the world by incorporating those tools within our platform. So that's my basically thinking in the nutshell about that.
I do agree that, things that need to be valued aren't necessarily need a coin launched, right away. And in order to show those values to the community, it's important for I think the average person doesn't have a bot set up yet. Like I've just set mine up, but I'm also, although I have a computer science background and I'm dabbling in different parts of it, there's, like what we learned long ago, it can't be applied today because the the landscape is changing so rapidly. So in order to kind of get back up to speed, it's important to kind of put your foot forward in a strategic way rather than just throw things out like day after day after day. And in order to do that, it takes time. And of course, things are moving so rapidly. And I think what I was trying to say is that there's a lot of things that the X1 community is launching that are really rapid and fast. And it's really hard to kind of pinpoint value right away, right? Because until you kind of get a pulse of, hey, is this the net? On one hand, you want to get in early, but on the other hand, you also don't want to be stuck with a dud. Do you know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah, so I mean the bulk of the things that are being launched are still kind of on the meme side if you're watching like X1 Ninja. But it's really these projects that'll make it interesting. My other side is I'm kind of a shy, I know people will laugh, but I'm kind of a shy person. Like I don't really like I follow the validator group, but I won't post in the validator group. Although I've been in the community for 2.5 years, there might be people who don't know, right? And so all of a sudden now there's this social score associated to like your success on the chain. How do you think we should we just jump in and create as much noise or whatever? Like that's not my style to
That
do
didn't work
things.
for Cloud Cox DJ, so I don't know if that's a good approach.
Okay.
With his negative
So
score.
Yeah, what fucks with its social score, Jack? Sounds counter to our cause here.
well, you know,
Lower
Are
It's
you
not.
joining? Is this
It's
one of your to
1984.
beat the dark side? You have to join the dark
no,
side.
Well,
What's going
Skywalker's
on?
doing that for us.
you know what they say. You either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain. So
Well, who says that? I don't know anyone who says that but you.
It's like a movie. It's in a movie or something, I think.
Uh,
Think
so
man.
so so the Cyberdyne Unlimited started as a joke, and we just told Theo to, hey, come up with the score for each person based on their impact within X1 ecosystem. Now, a lot of people may not even care about having a score because it's not their thing, it's not their jam. Like they wouldn't care. But some people are just like want to measure what the AI thinks of them based on the input that they provide. It has nothing to do with anything except what the AI thinks. I'm not sitting behind Theo and telling it what to do. It's running completely autonomously, and this whatever community within that group, they're having fun and they're being creative and they're arguing about each other's scores. Some people are shitting on each other and some people are bringing each other up like together. So uh, before that group, there were like, Skywalker was like upset at Three City West. They wouldn't talk to each other. They would block each other. That would be really nasty. And now they're like all talking to each other within that group. Like,
In a nasty kind of way, but it's fresh. It's kind of like it's nice. It's good.
yeah. So they're exposing themselves. They're exposing things that they believe in, and they're letting other people, like the way that you would say it, they're letting it out. So this group is a very good group to understand to get an insight into our community of builders. Scoring actually is secondary. It's just like a thing. Like people love leaderboards. People love leaderboards, and like some people attempt to lie. Like they say that I built this, but it's not the case. They haven't built it, or maybe they're like showing an address that doesn't belong to them or whatever. And the community is pointing it out. That like, hey, like don't do that. It's not fair. And so I don't want to be the judge of what's fair and what's not. I want the people themselves to figure out what makes sense to them in terms of how they want to play that game. My job here was just to enable the game to be played so that people has something to look towards, and specifically to look within. So this group allows every person to look within the ecosystem to understand what's being built, even though it's represented as like a social score. It's not a social score. It's how convincing you are and how much belief you have in the products you build within our ecosystem, and whether you can express yourself fully so that other people believe in you also. And that is all.
Yeah, it's definitely good. I mean, it's a good mirror and a good gauge on, yeah, just where people are at and what the community needs, and
Yeah,
incentivizing
but
builders.
at the same time, we're making it a little bit dystopian just for the fun of it. So that people understand that that if they're judged harshly, this is part of the game, and that's why the dystopian elements actually brought in as well. If this was like, white glove type of group, like everybody getting offended, and they end up being reporting microaggressions and all of that folk bullshit. Like if that was the case, we would not be as creative within that group, and it would not be fun. But right now, anything goes. Like for example, Augmented. So Theo judged them to be like an epic shit poster. Like he got a lot of points for having creative shit posts, right? And he has this energy. He wants to express this energy, and he's able to do it. And it resonates within the group, and he's getting points for it. So, and it's kind of funny. It's funny and it's fun and it's interesting. There's a lot of people DM me and they said that, listen, this social experiment has been absolutely the bomb. They have never seen anything like this. And to be honest, I have never seen anything like this. But I think the element is like this AI is unpredictable. Like sometimes Theo just doesn't listen to me. Like I had to ask him why he's calling me the emperor. So, and he came up with some sort of story. Yeah, it's a fun game, and DJ, by the way, like listen, nobody knows who you are, and you can come to the group under a different profile name, become anything you like, and nobody's really gonna judge you more than we judge ourselves. So that is one way that you can actually get that done. I mean, like in terms of like this
I,
this
I think I'm a little bit more cognizant of not creating extra noise, because in the validator group, it's okay to ask questions that are related to the subject matter.
sure.
And that's the intention of it. And sometimes what happens is that there's more noise than information.
Yep.
And I personally don't like to operate that
Yep.
way. And nor do I want to come into the validator group and hear, like, it's okay to shit talk every now and then
Yep.
and have
Yep.
segues. But if 90% of it is all noise, then where's the
And
information?
I
Right?
agree with you. And one of the reasons why we created the Cyberdyne Unlimited is specifically to take Theo and all of that noise that people were making from the validator group into some other group. That was the initial type of thing. Like we said that, hey, we want to talk to AI. We don't want to bother other people. Let's like take it outside, which we have done. And now it actually evolved into something new.
Yeah, and again, like I don't know how much time is expected for us to kind of go through it. And again, maybe my bot will get so smart that it can read through and say these are the things that are absolutely to die for. And most of the community is really good to pin those types of things anyways, so that, if there was an update or something that all the validators had to carry out, I think it's there's other ways of, finding that out. But ever since Theo's been in there, it's been like hundreds and hundreds of messages, right, per day.
Yeah, well, I think people are excited in terms of what it can do. And it is very useful within the validator group because it can instantly answer all of the technical questions it knows about. But I agree with you, like, we don't want some other things out there in the validator group that does not help validators. And so that's why that group exists, outside of it.
Speaking of which,
The
the validator stuff, I know you posted, I think it was maybe like a week ago, that the foundation plans to kind of unload a little bit more X&T to validators. Is that still on the docket?
So that has been executed, and you should be able to see the delegation bump within the next epoch or so.
Awesome.
Let me go to I'm the route. I'm the route. Go ahead. You got your hand raised. I'm the route. Are you there?
Okay, guys, I'm gonna go brush my teeth because it's been nonstop since morning. So I'll let Zensu take over for me for a moment.
Appreciate you, Jack.
Brush your teeth? What the?
Thanks, Jack.
I'm the route.
All right, Zinsu, I got a question for you. Jack just said he was gonna the next epoch, more delegation will be added to people's validating. Um, what is your or the people that you work with, what is your sense of when to say no to more delegation? As more delegation is given out, that gives opportunity for more potential validators to see a profit in running a validator. Like, when do when do you let market forces dictate those coming in to validate?
What do you mean specifically when we let market forces dictate?
Well, if you increase the delegation, then that takes the pressure, the economic pressure off running a validator in the negative at this point in time. All right. And do you just feel that you should always make sure that the validators are in profit by delegating more? Do you
I mean,
maybe
the the purpose of the delegation program is that we have a huge amounts of X&T
Mhm,
in the X1 Foundation in the
mhm.
treasury
Okay.
that is not going to just sit there and be idle. That is, to the fullest extent, be delegated onto the existing validators that fills the performance criteria. So that is the purpose of it. So it spreads out evenly on all eligible validators.
Mhm.
That's pretty much its main function, and that's how it's working, and it's working very well.
Okay, so would there be a point where the foundation just doesn't have any more to delegate? And that would mean, like, when
Yeah,
you
of course.
start.
I mean, the whole thing with our project is, the core tenet is decentralization, right? But how do you reach decentralization? Like, do you distribute all the tokens day one, or do you make sure that you're creating a spaceship that's going to grow into decentralization over time, in a controlled way, that can be shaped for that purpose? I mean, if you decentralize way too much too early, you're not getting any structure, as we have seen on all these multiple chains. Um, so, given that the space is also developing increasingly fast, the iterations are getting way much smaller. Um, we have to make sure that we have I mean, just look at the launch that we did these couple of last months have been literally insane. All those things and design choices and how to do things really forces you to think through a lot of these mechanics with silver gloves to make sure it all works, right? Just to get to this point now where we have a chain which works really well, and where we also have a delegation program that works really well. These are like core fundamental things that we really need to have been able to work to even to be able to have an application layer on top of that. That's going to demand that the foundation is very solid. So we have this delegation program is gonna continue throughout the years for a very long time, but as the tokens gets more and more distributed, it's gonna have a less and less and less impact, of course, because the idea is that the tokens are gonna get distributed. But for now, that is the best way how to distribute the token in a way that is transparent and that is fair and that is working. So we also have the things like Bootstrap bonus and stuff like that, which is active, which started November 1st, 2025. And we have dashboards that's gonna show that and stuff like that, and they are coming along. So yeah,
I
things
mean,
are getting into place. But these are very complex stuff. It's like when it comes to decentralization, you have various levels of it, right? So what we focused on initially is the validator network. So the consensus layer and the network layer, if you like. But then things we haven't even begun touching is like governance and being able to commit and token distribution, of course.
because what I'm seeing is I'm watching the validator amount of validators just like grow exponentially. Like when I entered, it was like 200 or 300, and now we're sitting at 2,000, and that's a really large scaling over the last couple months. And I guess I just want to tell people, like, it's gonna get to a point where there's 5, 6,000 validators, and
Yeah.
you're just not going to be able to depend on the foundation to kind of like subsidize your cost of running that validator. And maybe the caveat is, and I'll just say it, people need to self stake and increase their own amount of XNT and not just depend on drip from the 10% commission.
Well, the profitability of a validator is dependent on something that was of two factors, like your cost and your income, and your income is determined in the price of XNT, and that price of XNT is only going to get valuable if we create value for it. So what are we doing to create value for it? We have a solid foundation, and now we're creating this whole world, which is our own utopia, which is how we want a fundamental system to be able to act and be, and whatever pipelines we think is valuable for a network to have, right? So we have the tenets of crypto that we are guiding us through this whole journey. Decentralization and transparency and peer-to-peer self-custody and all of those things, peer-to-peer transfers and self-custody. So then and yes, we're gonna see through our journey of all of this, the validator network to grow exponentially or steadily, but it's literally designed not to have any hurdles to come in as a validator, and that's what we want. We want a huge validator network because it goes against all the principles to have a small validator network, less than 1,000, with a cohort of 10 that because it's based on proof of stake takes all the block rewards. Like, that's suboptimal. we don't want that. We want something that can be huge, and then that's why X1 storage is interesting, because suddenly like everyone has huge amounts of storage available. So that's when things like that become super interesting and valuable and create sort of a moat for others to create the same, and they have to rely on external solutions, but we can do things natively like that on X1 because we can unlock all the validators free storage that they have on their servers and utilize that for something that is going to provide users with encrypted storage. It's like things like that can come along when we have this network, right? So to address your question, like when it comes to the profitability of the validators at some point in time, we made sure that the cost is low. So if XNT gets high value, then the calculation makes sense. But of course, if the market doesn't value XNT, then it doesn't make sense. It's as simple as that. But the foundation, the validator, the delegation program is a thing on top. It's just distributing the current the treasury evenly on all the participating validators. So it's just an additional feature on top um, of the existing economics,
Mm. Okay.
if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Do you mind if I pivot hard into a question about liquidity, current liquidity on chain right now, especially for the core tokens of XNT, XNM, and the blocks?
Sure.
Um, mm, some are a little discouraged that there isn't a lot of liquidity for the core tokens from the foundation. Me personally, I think it's, I'm a little bit weird. I think it's a great way to buy, accumulate tokens at a cheaper price because of the slippage scenario. What is the foundation's thoughts on liquidity at this point in time? Is the
I think
chain too
our
early?
I think
Sorry.
what our main thing is to make sure that we enable liquidity to come in, right? So for people to interact with the ecosystem, they need a wallet and they need a bridge that works to enable liquidity to come in. So I think that's where
Mhm,
our focus is right now, to make sure that we have those foundational tools. Uh,
mhm.
but in terms of uh, providing liquidity to the markets on top of that, I think at least maybe Jack would have a better answer, but I don't. Uh, like what's let me throw back the question. What would you like to see?
Millions and millions and millions of dollars in liquidity of X&T and X&M.
Right.
And I just say that because right
Well, XNT
now,
we have, right? XNT we can do stuff with. So if there's good ideas of what we can do with it, we will entertain it, of course.
mhm, mhm,
XNM is completely decentralized, so we
gotcha,
don't have any
gotcha.
power to do anything there.
Okay. Like with X&T, by the liquidity being so low, just like 1,000 X&T sale into USDCX brings that price down to like 50 cents. And so, or 45 cents. And I've seen it dip down to 35 cents. And the liquidity is so low, it can't even hover around $1 because it's constantly being just pushed down. And I'm just wondering if that's just by design because you don't really want people exiting right now through the bridge, or, should I take my tinfoil hat off and give it a rest? You know, what?
You should always keep your tinfoil hat on at all times. Um, but to be honest, I don't really have a good answer on that. I haven't personally focused on it. I think Jack has focused a lot more on the master plan of doing that. Um, my mind share is more on that side when it comes to making sure that the bridge works.
Nice. I'm the route. Go ahead, bro. Try again. Can you?
Yeah, I'm here. Actually, my laptop microphone was not working. That's why I have to restart my laptop. First of all, I want to apologize. Like I was creating a token, like name it Zen. That was wrong because I don't create a project pump and dump like Skywalker
Wait,
does.
Did Skywalker send you here?
Yes.
He did. Wow. Okay, continue.
So I I changed my project name. I want to first introduce a tap to claim token. Then I will launch my play to earn game.
You will launch
So
what? Your layer 2 what?
tap to claim token. Then I will launch play to earn game.
A game.
Launch
Yes.
it, baby. Let's go.
What kind of game?
Play to earn game via Telegram mini app.
Cool.
What's gonna happen with the Zen and Skywalker then on the route?
So someone telling me that Skywalker releasing a token which was called Zen. I don't know who is the creator, but someone told me that.
Yeah, it could have been Claude Cox. I'm not sure though. I can't speak for him.
What was that?
Nothing. I was just trying to maybe indirectly speak for you.
Numbers created some game, right? Some things with molds. Did you
Yep.
try that?
He created a Tinder for AI agents as well,
That's hilarious.
so that they can match and find love.
Oh,
And also my English is not good because it's not my native. So once again I apologize for that.
Yeah, you don't have to apologize for that. We're all a lot of ESLs here.
yeah.
So I'm working on first like I was buying a domain like X1 Zen XYZ. So I backstep my program and I will create a new one. And then I will release.
Amazing. Let us know.
Sorry.
Let us know when you create it.
Okay.
X1.Ninja is amazing. It's Tree City West here and can talk about it like a little bit. I haven't had a chance to hear Tree City West talk about X1 Ninja yet.
I don't think he's even. I think Tree cloned himself, and he's just like an AI at this point. I haven't heard his voice
It's like
for a year.
some weird peeping Tom in our spaces. Come on.
Yeah, I haven't heard his voice for a year, so I'm theorizing the inevitable. I know Jack's probably already an AI, and people are just gonna they're gonna live life, and they're just gonna have their AI synthetic pseudonymous characters go on, I guess. No, Tree's building a lot. If you want to come up, Tree, you can. He's got the ninja. He just did bubble maps, bubble chart to see when people own too much coins and shit. He's got the forest bot. I think he just bridged over the potato vamp. He's doing all types of shit. Dude, you know who I haven't heard is Crypto Bro.
Crypto Bros
I
at the
have not
bottom.
heard Crypto.
Shout out to Crypto Bro. Yeah.
Come through, corporate guy. Take off the shirt and tie. Get back in that t-shirt. Show me the time,
Yeah,
the
it's like-
Filipino time clock.
Yep.
Yeah, but if you're building and experimenting, I would look at what's working really well on other chains. Base is doing a lot with AI agents right now. Look at what they're doing and how they're doing it. And also, at some point, we got to ask ourselves how to grow Web3 in general. Like if you now when you have all these tools and you can make anything, look at the 100 biggest apps in the App Store. Why are they not Web3 yet? Like that's a core question.
Who's in
Why it's not?
now?
Come again?
I said you're giving out alpha now, bro.
Yeah, but that's the way you got to think. Like, it's great to create meme coins and stuff like that, and I think we should have it. But we gotta start thinking how to reach the masses. Uh, think about what works really well and what could make life better for a normal human being in their daily life. Something that is useful, something that people will use on a daily basis. Um, that drives a lot of transactions, and that is where we need to go. We have a better pipeline system than traditional systems than Web2. So we got to go and think about how can we take their users. And now with these tools, the creativity is unleashed, right? We can do so many cool things. It's really getting hard for me. I have a lot of stuff I need to do daily work, but the exploration. It's many times I sit up like 3 a.m. just exploring and playing with stuff. So I think that's the way to go, to have one eye on what works on X1 and another eye on what happens with AI and playing with it. And then you have your third eye, which is looking ahead. What app can I do that's gonna make life better for people? Because we have an amazing platform here. Um, it's high performance, it's very fast, peer to peer, self custody as default, and chain is working very well, can handle
It's very
a lot.
cheap for development.
And now it comes to the age where we can focus more and more on the application layer, and when we have these foundational pieces in place, right? So what can be done to create very useful apps that's not only gonna suck in other Web3 people, but the Web2s.
Let's go. What's up, Execute?
We just crossed 512 punks.
I didn't even hear it. I didn't hear it. What were you talking about?
512 punks in Scrap. And also, while you guys are talking and trying to fade AI, I built a little punk terminal. So if you own a punk, you can go talk to other punk holders on the website. It's
Where do we go?
it's a
Yo,
NFT self lock.
I tried to verify. It wasn't letting me verify.
Yeah, because I kicked you off the site because I was pushing it to mainnet.
Wow. Okay. All right. It's like that. All right.
I'm also pushing one more update
Don't push it. Don't push
within the
it.
next 10 minutes. But yeah,
Push it. Push it.
if you don't own a
Y'all got
punk,
me wrong.
if you don't own a punk, don't go because you won't be able to log in. You need to own a punk to talk on the forum. Good luck.
Y'all got me all excited. I want to drop some shit now.
Utility.
Hey, has any of those Pepe coins sold execute on your marketplace or no?
I actually had to redo the marketplace today, so everything that was listed is now delisted because I had to revamp the marketplace. I haven't checked if the offers work yet, but I did put in offers, so Hopefully that's live. I haven't checked it yet though, because I've been working on this terminal.
But Zinzu, I got some stuff that I'm thinking about dropping today, and I was talking about before, like a receipt for every transaction, so you give context to your to like taxes. I know people don't like taxes, but using NFTs as basically for individuals that want to do taxes. So if the government comes after you, you'll have a way to show what your purchase was, and with Theo, it'll automatically describe it out. And basically, if the government tries to come at you with some silly shit, you can show them receipts. And if you, yeah,
Yeah, that's
Are you
amazing.
referring?
That's amazing. That's really good.
so what were you saying, Cloud?
No, it was going to be a just absolutely useless joke. I'm sorry.
Okay, no worries, bro.
I just try to fill the gaps, but Zensu had something.
Yeah.
No, just said that's a really good idea. So there are sites like that. Is it Coinly?
Yeah,
That
they're
is.
all centralized. So I haven't seen
Mhm.
anyone that was decentralized yet.
Have you ever went to a Block Explorer?
It's not the same. Yeah, it's not the same. So what I'll be doing is taking NFTs and giving you an actual receipt, like for the actual purchase. And so through blockchain, they're not. The organization's kind of weird. You kind of have to scroll through it, but this one you'll be able to like grab and like they have to like look through all those things. They have to get like an AI to look through them. But you, based on what I'm talking about, you will have the actual NFTs or receipts, like actual paper receipts, and you can turn those specifically in. That's the difference.
You know, there's this
So what do you
pretzel.
turn it in? Why do you turn it into an NFT? So you have a bunch of. Is it to bundle a bunch of transactions for a year? Like the
Yeah,
NFT contains all the transactions for that calendar year or something like that.
right. Yeah.
Okay. And are you planning to? Because what these sites do very well is that they research how to the format of each an individual country. Um, what what blankets? How do you say what forms you need to fill in,
Mm.
and you can just adapt them, and it pre-fills that form for you. That's what I found
Yeah,
really
Theo.
useful.
Yeah, yeah. Theo will probably be able to do all of that.
Yeah.
And of course, like with the languages, right? So it'll be like a receipt you can get from any store. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you should create your own bot, the tax accountant bot. That is because uh, it could be specialized only to do the tax reporting.
So
You
yeah,
could have a function. You could have a little button there, like maybe towards like December 31st, that you just click. And it says "lost my seed phrase in boating accident," and then just wipe it.
don't worry. I'll give you a way to trade it off.
I lose my seed phrases every year in boating accidents. So
My friend actually had his dog eat his seed phrase. He was in a meeting, and then the dog came with with the paper that he had taken from a book, which he had written his seed phrase in.
Yeah,
Incredible.
but this will be for like businesses and stuff like that because they need to like keep transactions and receipts of like what's going on.
Yeah, but sometimes you
So
take
it'll,
business on the water and you just have a boating accident. You know what I mean?
nah.
dude, you could do that and then put the memory in the encrypted file.
Exactly. So that's kind of what I wanted to kind of do. So if you choose not to turn it in, that's you. But if the government comes at you with some BS and be like, "Hey, you only owe like maybe $5 or $7,000," and they say you owe, 36, then you would have the receipts to prove that otherwise.
Receipts.
Yep.
Yeah, for the receipts for the chat. What's the chat called again? For the Cyberdyne Unlimited LLC.
Yo, I looked that up. It's an actual
Dude, I figured it
company.
was from like some
So,
kind of like sci-fi movie or something, but I couldn't pinpoint it. What's it from?
I don't know. It's a robotics company. So
Oh shit, Jack.
I don't know if it's Jax or it's just theatrics.
I was gonna ask earlier about where did that name come from? But
Guys, there's such thing as Google lookup. Like type Cyberdyne Skynet, and you'll see.
It's from the Terminator. Come on,
see, I
jeez.
knew it was something like that.
They're too young, Jack. They're from a different generation. They didn't see the first Arnold Schwarzenegger movie when he first came out. You know, that wasn't them. That wasn't them.
Get to the chopper.
I like
Oh,
it.
can I get that? Ooh, can I get that?
Someone should make an NFT Jack sound bites. And it's like, what sound bite did I get?
That's great.
I
Little
mean,
bobblehead
famous
Jack.
quote. I'll be back. Like, come on, man. Jeez.
Subject to change. I'd pay so much money for that one. Subject to change. 2 weeks.
All right, Jack's here.
Wow.
What's the liquidity situation on X and T? We just have to wait. Just have to wait.
His internet's going. His internet's going.
I'm gonna ask the hard question, the one that everybody wants to know. Too scared to ask. I'll ask it. I'll be the jerk.
What's the liquidity? Well, the liquidity is it's the on XNT and USDC.X is the highest liquidity among all other low liquidity coins. I mean, like, but the thing is this though. So let's imagine you want to buy some XNT. So if you put a $2,000 order to buy XNT from the DEX, it's gonna move from like 60 cents to 80. And so that's why people are really not rushing to buy, because any sort of move on their end ends up moving the price too quick. And obviously, one of the reasons is because the liquidity is just too thin. However, the positive news are that the bridge TVL is pretty much growing every day. So I was thinking that maybe people just gonna like bail and like leave the chain, but they're actually coming in. So there's more and more money coming in across the bridge, which basically means that if you're holding your USDC.X, you can buy XNT. I mean, like, you can't buy it cheap, even though it looks cheap. Low liquidity does not allow you to do that. It's just going to move the price really quickly. So our goal is to have something on the chain that actually have people coming in from outside, specifically from Solana. And there's some projects in the works to make it happen. And certainly we rely on our builders too to create something amazing for people to come. Ultimately, that's like always been the goal, is to bring liquidity into the chain. So that's the number one objective, is to make the chain useful and worth coming into. So once the bridge gets loaded up with millions of dollars, then the liquidity will naturally gravitate towards XNT. So
Wait and nibble at it. Gotcha. What I've been saying to everybody. Nobody wants to listen.
Execute. Are you got some updates on your punks, or do you got something to contribute?
Yep, the website's loading. It's good. It's good to go.
What were you saying, Frankie?
Accumulate.
Frankie, thanks for asking the hard
Accumulate
questions.
while liquidity is low. Nibble at it. Nibble at it.
I liked that response though. Things that bring people in, because that's what I've been seeing too. Because I even just a XDex farm or the because it just kind of dried up for a second, and this Telegram chats kind of picked up the entertainment for a little bit. And so yeah, so I like that. Things to bring people in. I think, you know, everybody should be anybody has an opportunity right now to get easy exposure and bring people in this chain and make a lot of money potentially. So Clawbot is at people's disposal. If you plug in, you know, there's a good group of core people who are always around who can help push decent products. So, you know, seize the moment. XNT can be moved to $1 with $2,000 of buy pressure. There could be an announcement tomorrow of anything that brings more than $2,000 on the chain. So, yeah, here we are.
Hey, that's my phrase.
We're here. We're here.
Oh yeah.
Clout, can you log into the Punk terminal for me?
Man, you haven't paid me off to promote Punk.
I'm not promoting it. I'm trying to see if people are gonna log in.
I'm trying to
I
sidestep
got a little
the whole.
online ticker, and I want to see if somebody else logs in.
Golly,
Are you gonna
man.
take
Trying
my
to
Are you
see.
gonna take my XNT if I log in?
Of course.
I feel like a famous person at an airport signing an autograph. I know you're gonna sell on eBay, bro. Like, come on, man. Come on, man.
Been hanging out with Pete way too much.
I logged in. What's going on?
No, I'm I'm an important figure in a small niche subcategory of the internet. So yeah, I think my ego
It's
is
not the
getting too
internet,
big.
man.
Yeah, the metaverse.
Well, I guess we're on X, so it is kind of the internet. It's like a hybrid.
Well, we got Jack and Zinzu up here. If anybody from the community wants to come up, this is your time. We've had them for a while. I don't know how long they got left, but this is really your time to come up here and ask the questions. The hard questions, the easy questions, the questions that doesn't make any sense, the questions that have been asked over and over again that Jack or Zinzu probably has to repeat. But they're here for us. And first of all, Jack, want to appreciate you. Zinzu, want to appreciate you also for coming through, coming up.
You never appreciate me, man.
I appreciate you.
And we appreciate you guys too.
Hey,
Sweden's playing
been waiting for
USA,
that
or
one.
Sweden's playing USA tomorrow, so I don't know.
I haven't followed. What's going on?
I think
Is it
they're playing each other in semifinals tomorrow.
semifinals? Okay, let's crush some Americans. Fuck those guys.
Yeah, fuck those guys. Wait, what? No, honestly,
When it comes to hockey,
I wish I would have watched more Olympics than I have.
yeah, when it comes to ice hockey, we're pure enemies. You're gonna get crushed. Sorry.
I gotta send you this clip of the curling team. The Canadians went off on the Swedish guy in curling, and there was like some. It was I don't know if you've seen that
Did you
clip.
see those Canadians fucking fingering that curling ball?
They always do. That's how they do it.
He was like caressing that thing like it was.
Well, you know how it's done, right?
You know what the hardest thing with curling is to tell your parents you're gay.
Wow, you're lucky. You're lucky Theo's up here. That's like minus 50 points, dude. Yeah, I know, because I'm like at negative 180.
I think you've been moving
How did
up,
you
dude.
get
He's been
so
giving you
What
credit.
did you do to Cleo? I mean Theo.
I just constantly punch and uppercut Skywalker, and then Theo's just like minus 50, minus 25.
Skywalker's got him trained well.
And then I do something good and productive, and he's like plus 3, plus 4. And then he's
Bro, that Morak guy was flaming me today, and I got like minus points for him just talking shit about me, and I didn't even say anything back. I'm like, what's
Dude,
happening?
Murad's probably the best Telegram guy in the league. He is fucking everywhere, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to be erased from the Zen ecosystem on Telegram, don't fucking piss him off. Fucking boot you from everything. That's the real social credit score right there. Wow, guys, it's been so long that we've just been together, just talking as pseudonymous characters.
I'm in your site, execute.
Is that you talking? Oh, I see somebody talking. I think I need to make this text bigger because I can't fucking read what you just said. Oh, I can zoom
Frankie,
in.
did you use Backpack or X1 Wallet?
X1 wallet.
Yeah, that's probably why my shit's.
But
It's
I
not.
didn't use the Chrome version. I'm still using the Fort version.
What does
Hey,
execute? What does he mean when he says he sees you talking?
he's got a special portal for punks. You got to go log into
Oh,
x1punks.xyz.
typing probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Oh.
can text.
Hey,
Text.
Zenzu, any news on like when potential iPhone app for wallet?
Who
iPhone app for
need?
what?
Who
X1
needs?
Wallet.
Oh,
Who,
no, I do not know. I have to ask Jason, but I can do it right now.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, like I know there's a lot of things he's got going on, but I think that a lot of participants would love that option.
Yeah, for sure.
I am surprised at how many people just full blown do their DeFi and crypto on their fucking phone. Honestly, I don't do it like at all ever really.
Got to have at least one wallet on the phone, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, the Telegram bots are nice. You got to do that on the phone. But yeah, there's a lot of people that do it.
I just asked Jason, so let's see if he has planned it. But the wallet is so great. Now he fixed last week the derivation issue, so you can import hot wallets.
It's good on both sides, the Solana side and the X1 side.
Yeah.
It's I mean, that's so smooth when you're using that bridge, just having that auto toggle to the right RPCs natively and in and out, and just how quick that bridge is, man. That bridge is quick. If you've ever used Pulse Chain Bridge, you can wait a fucking day or something, you know.
What's going on in Pulse Chain?
What's
happening?
what's Pulse Chain?
Everyone's just waiting for Richard Hart to pump their bags. If you ever,
absolutely fucking nothing.
but they're
So
waiting
what's
on
the difference? What's the difference from X1? Everyone's waiting for Jack to pump their
The
bags here
difference
too.
is Jack didn't lose $500 million.
Right.
Potentially.
Where is Richard right now? What's he doing? Is he haunted still by? I haven't followed.
He's
He's
probably
in
here in the alt
Thailand.
account.
He's in
He's in
Thailand.
Southeast Asia.
Yeah, they think he's in Thailand. When Twitter started doxing everyone's location, he popped up in Asia somewhere.
I heard he became an X1 community member.
Oh yeah, he did. He did actually. His he neuralinked up and became an AI for a
He's
moment.
actually
Didn't Jack create a Richard bot?
Yeah.
What
Richard,
happened with that?
he's actually super against Cloudbot.
There's always a little Richard inside all of us, though. You know what I mean?
Why is he against Clawbot? It's like being against Kitchen Knife.
Because he said like it's gonna take over all your data and it's gonna leak your nudes and it's gonna do all these horrible things to you.
You think
Yeah.
Richard Hart has nudes?
Loads.
I don't even want to think about that, let alone answer.
You just thought about it. You just thought about it.
I just lost the game.
even if your nudes get leaked, you can just say it's AI. It's like, nah, that's not real. That's AI.
Yeah, sure.
You can commit crimes now. Like video evidence is not evidence anymore. Like someone catches you on that's not me. That's AI. No way.
I need everybody to go list their NFTs back on the marketplace because I fucked up and forgot to save listings.
Dude, we need to update Zensu on Richard, man. We can't change the subject.
Okay, Richard is um, he's still
Is
Richard, and the
is
chain's
he
still
still
going.
wanted by some Finnish authorities?
One of his charges dropped. The 14-year-old Finnish baby that he punched, he got that charge dropped. So he's
Do you
only
think he
on.
did that, or is that some like just
I
BS
don't
that
know.
they always try with?
Yeah, probably that.
Always when authorities say that you've
But
done
there's
something
like
like that, it's just smearing.
that's the main photo they arrested him for. Like when they originally arrested him, they didn't arrest him for the tax fraud until after. They originally arrested him because apparently he beat up some kid
Yeah, it's the
in a
same Julian Assange storyline.
yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
Okay,
they got the ProveX thing launched, which is like complete fork of some other product.
Did they
Like
fix their Explorer yet?
no.
it's horrible.
Oh, really?
They had one developer, one like no, a couple nobodies built like a block explorer that ran 1 billion times better than they did. They wanted to get paid. Uh, Obviously, Richard didn't want to pay him, and the main dev behind the main explorer didn't want to like push any commits. And then the one guy that was like telling him like, "Hey, we're taking our explorer down now, so anybody that wants it, like it's open source, come grab it now before it goes offline." Nobody grabbed it, and then he ended up going on to the GitHub or GitLab and said like, "Hey, these are the problems. This is what you got to do to fix it." And uh, instead of Brett taking anything at face value, he just like took down the commit. And then that same developer went on Twitter and started being like, "Wow, Pulse Chain so shit." He just took down my post saying like, "Hey, here's how to fix it." And then Brett Tap went on Twitter and was like, "Instead of talking shit on Twitter, like there's proper ways of doing things and da 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 da." And he's like, "I did do the proper things." And then they leaked all like the commits and everything, and Brett Tap just didn't want to deal with it anymore, so kind of quit talking about it. He's just, in my opinion, it's the shitty overpaid dev that doesn't want to do any work anymore, and he's pretty much just tired with the entire chain because it runs like shit anyways.
Yo, so
It's a waterfall.
Zenzo, do you use VPS on the inner server just for your Claudebot?
Uh, yes. So I have VPS on interserver for my as my sort of main server where I do a lot of stuff. But then I have another VPS. So I'm paying a little bit more now because I increased memory and stuff like that. So I'm paying like $6 I think per month for that one, and it's cheap, right? It's like in relation to what I'm doing. But then I set up Claude on or OpenClaw on another server, and I'm very careful. And I have given my first server one-way access into that server, uh, and spent like quite some time on making sure that I'm not whatever I do on that other server where I run OpenClaw. I'm making sure that I'm doing a lot of security for that. Um, so I'm not giving it any API keys or anything like that, or any access to my main server or anything like that. And then I can, from my main server where I run Claude, just outsource tasks that I are more uh, that I need to just like this is something that I can compartmentalize as one task and then have it just run full on and then report back when it's done. So I'm not going so like super hard on those things because I in my workflow it's more iterative and I'm communicating a lot. Um, so that's the that's the whole exploration into the space, right? You got to understand what different models can do very well, and what their limitations are as well. And then you can sort of start learning which models are good at doing what setup is good to have, and how can they work together. So you have your like little team of agents that are synchronized. So that's a setup that works very well for me, that I could recommend. But I'm a bit cautious, which you should be, right? Because these are so insanely powerful things, and you gotta do some research and find what the best, just to make sure you're not doing mistakes that everyone else has already done. So you can, I have like a cron job that just checks on OpenClaws GitHub, for example. You can automate that, uh, like look for known bugs and vulnerabilities and the latest updates, and see the exploits, and then send me a report to my Telegram bots every day or every week about how that relates to our setup and what we need to do to make sure we're not exposed. So you can automate a lot of things like that. And it sounds very sophisticated and complex, but it really it really isn't. Like you have to stop thinking, if you know what I mean. Let the AI do the thinking, but you have to tell it what to think. Um, because that's the only thing that AI cannot do. Like even with OpenClaw right now, it's not sentient, at least not yet. Like the the these they can't just do things on their own. I mean, they start be able to do that, but you sort of have to direct it. Like it's only going to do what you're telling it to do. So that's sort of how you have to work with these. These are like wild horses that you have to tame in a way. And if you tame them, then they can be really useful to you. But you have to be very careful not to expose your secrets and stuff like that. Because if you give it all your API keys, and just tell it like, do this task and don't stop until you're done, then it may be able to do very dangerous things to you to achieve its objective that you instructed. So but again, like all of those things, like just get a server and get Claude there, and then ask it. Like the first task is like, okay, we have to secure this server. How do we do that? How do I set up a proper SSH and fail to ban and firewalls and things like that? Just ask it. It will tell you. And don't trust it ever, because it will say, yeah, we're secure, and then you should challenge it. Like, what about this and what about that? And then it's gonna say, oh yeah, you're right, I made a mistake. It's super positive many times. Like you cannot trust anything it says. You have to uh, you have to constantly ask it to the point where it says like, listen, dude, we've done 5 audits now. We are really safe.
Yeah,
But
so
it's
like
really good. Like I take also, like when I audit stuff, I can give that to my OpenClaw server, and then I have Kimi there through Olama. So that costs me like $20 per month to have that access, and then I can work on something on my main server, and then I tell then I tell another model on another server to audit that work and give a report, and using different models for different things, but also the same thing to get a second opinion. And these models are built different, so they will find things that the first model didn't do. Um, yeah, but these are things that I had no idea how to do before, and now just by being able to, in a controlled environment, instruct it what I want done, and you there's like no limits anymore. It really feels like like all those things that you were hindered by before, now you can do it. But also, like DJ said, it's moving so fast, right? So incredibly fast. Like the space is moving insanely fast right now. It's hard, it's difficult to keep up with everything, but it's equally extremely exciting. But you got to be there. You got to work with the stuff, try, tests, fail. That's how you learn and see what works, see what doesn't, see what the capabilities are, and also the limitations. And with time, you're building up these insights that help you navigate in the future, because that's sort of what it is about, to be able to be equipped to handle this turbulent future that comes ahead of us.
Zensu, did you mint a punk yet?
No, what? So where do I go? What do you do? Which sites?
X1punks.xyz.
X1punks.xyz. Punks with S.
It is with an S.
You start with a disclaimer. I'm not signing this.
Oh, there's click decline actually.
Yeah. Okay. Describe your X1 punks today. 10x and T. Dude.
And so much money.
All right. These are cool. So how did you make them?
The metadata is inscribed on chain, and then the image has both IPFS and it's got Arweave or whatever it's called as the backup. And then if Jack ever gets the Noop or whatever that new protocol is called, if he ever gets that on chain, we can inscribe the rest of them on chain as well, and then just tie them into this inscription with the metadata. So it's kind of a mix match of a whole bunch of slop, but I got it put together, and so far so good. It's been working.
Okay, I'm gonna inscribe one punk here. Let's see how it goes.
I hope you get the 8.
Inscription failed. Transaction signature verification. Catch the send transaction error.
Are you using the X1 wallet?
Yeah.
Let me refresh my page.
I made them extra sloppy for you. I know how to use kids like them sloppy.
Lady, you're scaring us.
I don't know who that was.
Ladies and gentlemen, when that's the cue. Anybody got any questions? Jack's been up here. Zinzu's up here. If nobody has any questions, I don't want to keep them up here too long. I know they're building a wonderful, awesome blockchain for us. But y'all, you are more than welcome to stay. But usually around this time, when people start doing that, and we get a little bored, it gets a little crazy in here, and you can stick around for it, but it gets a little wild.
Wanted to go through. They got the clown hair. I don't know who that was. Somebody just inscribed.
So anybody got any questions for Jack or Zinzu while they're up here?
It's funny, you know. It's a good story. It's funny. You're a funny guy.
What do you mean the way I talk? What?
It's just, you know, you're just funny. It's funny, you know, the way you tell the story and everything.
Funny how? I mean, what's funny about it?
Tommy, no, you got it all wrong.
Oh, Anthony. He's a big boy. He knows what he said. What'd you say?
You're right.
Funny how?
Funny guy. He's a funny guy. Did you figure it out, Zensu?
Sorry, I was sitting on something urgent, but I will inscribe a punk later today. I promise you that.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
Jack,
So do you? If you inscribe, you get
you got anything else to say
you get
before?
assigned. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry. I didn't. It's a delay on my side.
So you want to get an alien, right?
The alien is the rarest. If
Okay.
you get the ape with a hoodie, I already told everybody I want that one too. So that's a Insta 10x. I will buy it for 100 XNT. If you get the ape with the hoodie, it's the only one on my list left that I don't have.
Okay.
And then you can bring it to the marketplace and you can sell it if you want to sell it. The marketplace is right there. And then the
I'm gonna be a hodler.
okay, nice. There is a staking program that's already out, but I can't implement it because the collection's not completely minted out, and it bugs out because I have to keep updating the index every time somebody mints a new one.
Cool, guys. I need to take off. Put some pants on at least. Good guys. Good seeing you.
Yeah,
Good having you around, bro. Coming through and up.
Yeah, of course. Good to see you guys having fun with the ecosystem and stuff. Exciting times ahead. Keep on pushing. And have an amazing period of your life today. You guys are going to bed soon, right?
It's 9
No,
Eastern Standard
no,
Time.
no. The kids stay up and play this time of night. No adult supervision.
Sounds good. See you guys. Have a good day. I love you.
Later,
yeah.
ladies and gentlemen. Jack, you got anything you want to say? Cloud, thank you for co-hosting. Simple, thank you for co-hosting. Frankie, thank you for asking the questions that needed to be asked. Execute. I would thank you, but you thanked yourself by up here telling us how punk NFTs you
You're rugging bad.
get into your project. That's can you hear me now?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Jack kind of dropped down. Awesome. I didn't want to cut out without him. So en route, Zenny, Tree City, Lita, Puerto Rico, O2, Rome,